Yeah, this is case number 1 on the calendar in the matter of Walker versus Noble. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks have seats.
Mr. Walker, you and the defendant leased an apartment together. It is your claim that the defendant locked you out, she kept some of your property, and in addition, she showed around a private letter which caused you embarrassment.
Yeah.
The defendant says that you, in fact, broke the lease to the apartment. She is countersuing for your share of 4 months' rent. She said that she did not lock you out of the apartment. So when did you sign this lease?
It was September 22nd of 2001.
And how did you know the defendant?
I used to work with her, and we were friends.
So tell me when this problem started, around Christmas time?
It was around Christmas time, December 21st of 2001. I had received a phone call, 3 o'clock in the morning, from my mother, stating that she was sick, and that she wanted me to come down there to be with her.
Where does she live?
She lives in Virginia.
Where is this apartment that you were living in?
It's in Erie, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
The only thing I took with me was my clothes. A few days later, my mom got better, so I was going to come home, and I received a phone call from Josie stating that I am no longer allowed in the house because she thought I moved out.
How many days later?
It had to have been like 4 or 5.
In the month of December?
In the month of December.
No.
Okay. Had you paid your share of December's rent?
Yes, I was paid up until January.
None of that is true at
Just
all.
a second, I'm going to get to you in a minute. All right. How much was rent?
It was $240. I paid $240 a month.
Josie, give me your version of what happened.
Let's see, December 20th, I spoke to him on the phone, and I asked him if he had his share of the rent money. And the whole month, I was letting him go with just giving me $40 a week, and we'll just take it up from there, and he'd make it up to me at the end of the month. And when I talked to him, he said that he spent his share on presents. And I never once said that he could never come back to the apartment.
Let's just get to, you're getting ahead of yourself. You're getting ahead of yourself. Now, what happened? He said he left December 21st. What happened?
He left in the night. I never heard a phone ring at 3 a.m. I would have woken up. He would have woken up.
Well, who's he?
He is my my ex-boyfriend. He was there at the time.
Okay, I don't care whether you heard a phone or you didn't hear a phone. You woke up December 21st, and
I woke up. Well, he woke up to go wake Jamie up to go to work, and he found this note that Jamie left.
Can I see it, please? Did you write this letter?
No, I did not. That is not my writing.
Oh my God.
I have very sloppy writing. That is not my writing.
Do you have any other writing of the...
I have the copy of the lease that he signed, and I don't know about that.
Well, but he's printing this.
There should be a signature one right above my signature.
Oh, I see. Yes, you're right. I think you wrote this.
I did not write it.
I think you wrote this, Mr. Walker. I'm just looking at the way you not only signed your name here, but printed it on your lease. It's exactly the same as the printing on this. Yes, it is. Okay. So you left.
Yes.
What items do you claim that Miss Noble kept of yours?
Well, she has a computer.
Well, you wrote here the computer is yours, too. You can have my last paycheck. Give this to Dawn as proof. And you also wrote the computer is yours, too.
I did not give her the computer.
Well, that's what you wrote, sir.
But I didn't write that, I'm saying.
Oh, I think you did.
Well, she has a desk of mine, too. A bed. She has some books, CDs.
And when did you try to get back into the apartment, Mr. Walker?
It was right after I got back.
Okay. And you're on the lease?
Yes, I am.
Then you should have been let back into the apartment. Did you go to the police?
No, I didn't know I could.
Of course you did. If you have a lease to an apartment, you're on the lease.
The landlord wouldn't let me back in there either.
No, you go to the police. Put your hand down. I didn't ask for you. You know that you can go to the police if you're locked out of your apartment. Come.
And they had the locks changed, too.
So what? The police go, they knock at the door, they say he has a lease to the apartment, he has the absolute right to be here, to the apartment. You were ready to go home in a couple of days. You go home. So I don't believe you, sir.
He didn't go to Virginia. I have a receipt from my cousin who sent him money while he was in York, PA.
I don't care where he went. I don't believe him. You want to tell me the second part of your lawsuit, sir? Second part of your lawsuit is about a letter.
Yes. Miss Noble had gone through my room with all my stuff, and she had found a personal letter of mine, and she had given it to one of our coworkers, and in which in turn that coworker had took that letter and spread it around work and customers too.
Tell me about that letter.
After he left that note, we waited a little while. He cleaned out the room, Jamie's room, and we found this little red binder. It said, "Don't go through it." So we're going to go through it.
Of course.
And he found the letter, handed it to me. I read it, got a kick out of it. And the girl that I showed, he was going around saying that he slept with her, telling nasty stories about her. And it's like, she wasn't my best friend, but she was like a coworker, and it's affecting her reputation. So we invited her over. We showed her the letter. She said, "Can I keep it?" And I didn't care. And she kept it, gave it back. I don't know what I did.
That's why,
with it,
Mr. Walker, if you honestly wanted to get back into your apartment, and I don't know where you went, because you had valuable things in there, things that you didn't want shown around, that's why you go to the police and you get all your stuff. When, for the first time, did you decide to get back your stuff?
It was right after I got back.
No.
Which was what month?
December.
In December. So what did you do?
I called her and
So
I
what
said,
did you do? Did you go to court in December? Did you go to court in January or February? What'd you do?
No, I waited because she said she was going to take me to court first. And I never got anything back, so I filed
Why
the
should
case.
you? Listen to me,
Because she said she was going to.
Mr. Walker. You're not an unintelligent person, are you?
No.
You locked out of your apartment, you go to the police, you say, "I have to get my stuff, my computer, my private
He was
stuff." I
never
went
locked out.
away in the middle of the night to help take care of my ailing mother.
He was never locked out. I didn't get the locks changed until about a month ago.
Not even like 2 weeks ago.
What happened was he left a note in my mailbox telling me to call him on a cell phone number, and I told him, "Why don't you just give me like $500 and I won't go to cops and I won't go do all this stuff so I can get the rest of my money back, because I really wanted to avoid this."
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
It doesn't give her the right to spread it around work. That's my personal information.
I showed a girl that you lied about.
And later today,
Show me. Well, what do you think you were coming here for? Waltz lessons?
No.
Show me where you had paid off the bills.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Jamie Walker says former roommate Josie Noble owes for the return of his belongings. Jamie also says Josie defamed his character.
Go ahead.
May I say something to that?
Who are you?
I'm Sarah, Jamie's friend. He's staying with me at the current moment.
Sure.
On the date that Miss Noble is talking about, when she had called, it is my cellular phone. She was really rude to me, ranting and raving about different things, saying that she was going to harm Jamie and that she was going to have
What did
people
she
after
say
him.
she wanted?
She wanted to talk to him. She wanted to talk to him now, and I said, well, he's unavailable at this moment. He had called her back, and they had talked about it for a couple hours, and
I was at work for a couple
It was
hours.
like an hour, approximately an hour.
Yes.
They had worked out to where she had said that he could not come get his things. She had also called me before on my cellular phone, telling me that, wondering where he was at, and told me that he was not allowed to get his things and that they were hers now.
That
Right.
was not what was said
Should I
on the
say
phone
something?
at all. At all. I called there and
Whatever. I don't know what this letter said. I don't have this letter, unless somebody has a copy of the letter. Do you have
I
a
have
copy of the
proof
letter?
that it was about, what it entailed.
And it was left in your house.
It was left in the apartment, yes.
Right. Which I find that you left.
But that doesn't give her the right to spread it around work.
No, no,
That's
no.
my personal information.
May I say something?
I showed a girl that you lied about.
You
Yeah,
may
she
not.
does,
It doesn't lend anything. Neither did her statement lend anything, but I thought maybe it might.
I was there a lot, like around through everything that happened, so.
Spare me, will you please? He is suing for the following: for the return of his property. What personal property? A computer?
A computer.
A desk?
A desk. A
Yeah,
bed.
his desk?
He doesn't have a desk. All there was a little nightstand thing.
It's a stand.
And a bed. And a couple books were left.
Fine. Where are those things?
The stand is still in the apartment, the bed is still in the apartment, and the books are still there.
Great.
I have my
Great.
videos too, and my CDs.
What about his movies? and
There
CDs?
are no CDs. There's probably like 2 movies I think I still might
have
have, but
15.
no CDs. Nothing.
Okay. So what I'd like you to do is get the boyfriend to help you pack up his bed, his little nightstand, his books, and his videos. pack them up, put them out on the front of the house 5 days from today's date. He has 3 hours, from 12 to 3. If you're not there between 12 and 3 to get your bed, your nightstand, your books, and your videos, she has the right to get rid of them. Do you understand?
Yes.
Now let's get to the issue of the rent.
Okay.
You left the premises, and I find that you had no reason to leave the premises. Even if she locked you out, you had the right to get back in there, and I don't find that she locked you out of the residence. So from the time you left in December until the time she found a roommate, you are responsible for half your rent.
Can I say something on that?
Yes.
Her ex-boyfriend now, he was living with us from the time that he moved, or that we moved into the apartment, until the time that I left. And after that, I know he was still staying there, as I know of.
When you moved in September, was he living there?
Yes.
So that you knew he was living there.
Yes.
So
But
that was your arrangement in September. He didn't move in afterwards, right?
Right.
So stop complaining. You have to pay until she. Who was your new roommate?
She just recently moved out. She was my cousin's cousin.
And how many months did she live there?
4 months.
When did she move in?
Or 3 months.
When did she move in? I don't need her name.
March.
So the month of January and February, is that right? He wasn't there, and then you had a roommate in March. Is that right?
Because he was gone for 4 months before I got her to move in.
Doesn't sound right. $480 is what you owe her. Do you understand?
yes.
However, we're holding the $480 until you get your property, which is going to be on the order. Do you understand?
I think she might have only been there for 2 months, or
Fine.
So,
that's
but-
still only 2 months.
but
Do you understand?
yes.
Good. I don't care whether you agree with it or not. Do you understand it? That's all.
But he was.
Excuse me, step out.
Maybe I shouldn't have went to go visit my mother.
He's such a liar, and so is she. Nothing but a bunch of little lies, and I'm so glad that they're out of my life.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Fair versus Wharton, step forward, please.
21-year-old bank representative Jessica Fair is suing her ex-fiancé, 23-year-old medical equipment repairman Neil Wharton, for his share of a joint loan. Neil is countersuing for a lost engagement ring.
Miss Fair, you and the defendant were engaged to be married, and there came a time when you and the defendant became inundated with bills, credit card bills, etc. So you went to your mother.
Yes.
And you asked if she could help you out with a loan.
Yes.
So that you could clear up all of your debts and you would pay her back.
Yes.
You and the defendant would pay her back. Is that right?
Yes.
And your mother gave you $8,000.
Yes.
Then you and the defendant broke up, the engagement was off. Now, you're not seeking half the money from the defendant, but according to you, you're seeking only the amount of money that was attributed to his bills, his personal bills that were paid off from this loan from your mother.
Right.
Is that right?
Yes.
Mr. Wharton says that there was never an agreement with him and your mother for this loan. So far, is that right, Mr. Wharton? And he is counterclaiming for the value of the engagement ring, which he says was never returned to him. Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Who was present when the discussion of the loan came up with your mother?
There was numerous discussions of the loan. There was a point where all three of us had been there.
Do you remember discussions about this loan to pay off your bills?
No. She had told me that she was going to seek help for her bills from her mother. I didn't know anything that had anything to do with mine. But as far as us, all three of us sitting in a room together, no.
Did you have substantial credit card bills?
Yes.
How much?
About $3,000 worth.
Now, when Miss Fair's mother agreed to make this loan, were your $3,000 worth of bills paid off?
I do not know.
What do you mean you don't know?
Exactly that. I really don't know.
Well, you get
continue.
statements from your credit card company.
No. She called the credit companies and said she was filing bankruptcy and had my mailing address and everything sent to her.
Well, did you ever pay those bills, sir, the $3,000 worth of bills?
I have been paying them off, yes.
You have been?
Yes.
Show me.
I didn't.
Show me. Well, what do you think you were coming here for? Waltz lessons?
No.
Show me where you had paid off the bills. Do you have bank statements showing me that you have paid each month towards paying down this $3,000 worth of debt?
No, ma'am, I don't.
Why not?
I don't.
You want to show me proof that you paid off his credit card bills?
Yes. On the front is a spreadsheet showing everything that he owes and account numbers linked to either him or jointly, and some pay stubs with the bank statement.
What was purchased at Samuel's Jewelers?
My first engagement ring.
What happened to that?
He has it.
Is that right, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Xerox Credit Union, is that you, sir?
It was a consolidation loan. When we split, she decided she was going to take that loan, and I was going to take a wedding loan that we took out for $5,000.
What was that used for?
It was to pay off her other ring that she got.
That's not true.
Well, what was it used to pay off?
I believe we paid the DJ and we put a down payment on the reception hall. The consolidation loan actually paid off the ring.
Is that right, sir?
Not that I knew of. I believe it was with the MBNA wedding thing that we took out.
Have you been paying on that loan?
On the MBNA, yes, I have.
You have proof of that?
No, I don't.
Did he take over that loan, $5,000?
I am still receiving statements on my part saying that the loan is past due, so...
Are you also a co-signatory on that loan?
Yes, I am.
Oh, you in trouble. Now, Miss Fair, what happened to the second engagement ring?
The second engagement ring...
Look at me.
I'm sorry.
What happened to the second engagement ring, Miss Fair?
The second engagement ring was purchased in April 27th, 2 days before my birthday. We financed it jointly, and I paid that with the consolidation
So
loan.
I'm asking you where the engagement ring is.
I lost it. I don't have it.
I'm not sure if I believe that, Miss Fair, so you better tell me the truth. I'm going to give you one more opportunity. If you have an expensive piece of jewelry, what you usually do is you insure it. So you want to tell me where it is?
I honestly don't have it. When we split, I was giving him back both of his rings. I gave him back the original engagement ring. I couldn't find the other one.
That's not his fault. Did you make any payments, sir, on the consolidation loan?
We were paying from a joint bank account.
Is that right?
Yes, it is.
So he actually paid for part of the ring?
Yes.
Okay. And how much was the entire ring?
I have a receipt for it. It was $2,144.63.
All right, Miss Fair, listen to me very carefully. I believe that Mr. Wharton is responsible for his own bills, and since he does not have any proof that he is currently paying off on this $3,000 credit card debt, I find that the $3,000 that you actually paid off of his credit card debt, he should be responsible for. And from that, I am deducting half of the cost of the engagement ring, which is $1,072, leaving a balance of $1,928. For that, I am issuing a judgment for the plaintiff and, of course, dismissing your counterclaim. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I just wish her luck.
Just happy that the issue is resolved.
She found somebody better, and I wish them luck.
I'm sorry things turned out the way they did. He's a good guy.
There was no doubt that her mom did pay bills. I just didn't agree with the amount that it was.
Don't ever co-sign. Don't ever go joint with anybody. Don't ever jointly sign with anybody.
In the matter of Tippett versus Coleman. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ladies, have seats, please.
Mr. Tippett, according to what I've read, you met the defendant in some sort of a chat place on the internet.
Correct.
And then there came a time when you moved into her home.
That's correct.
And it is your claim that she kept and or sold some of your personal property when she locked you out of the house at some point after an altercation.
That's correct.
Ms. Coleman says that she has none of your personal property, that you were abusive to her, that you choked her, were assaultive. That's the reason you were locked out of the house. And that you did have certain property there, some of which you took, and the rest of it she tried to get you to come and get several times. You didn't come and get the properties. She put it out and she disposed of it. She's counterclaiming for the assault. She's counterclaiming for some rent that she says you owe her, and for storage fees for storing the property that you left behind. That's nonsense.
Right.
You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. When did you move in with her and why, Mr. Tippett?
I moved in on April 7th of this year, 2003. The reason I moved in with her is I was going to be homeless or having to move back in with my mother in Atlanta, Georgia.
Why?
For being unemployed for an extended period of time, and I was writing a book.
Is what you're telling me is that you planned on moving in with Miss Coleman and not paying any money to her?
There was an arrangement for me to pay weekly $70.
Did you have your own room?
No, I slept on the sofa in the living room.
Okay. So Now you're living there, and you move in on the 7th of April,
Correct.
2003. When did you move out?
Well, I left on the 30th of August. I didn't move on the 30th of August. I was not allowed to get anything.
Well, why don't you tell me what happened?
On the 29th of August, I went out to get some dinner, and when I returned around 8:30, 8:45, the door had been deadbolted from the inside. I knocked on the door, spent 30 minutes outside using cell phone, calling 911 to get assistance to have her open the door to let me in. She refused to open the door, and she refused to open the door because she said I owed her $30, and I had paid her $40 cash that Friday, and the $30 that I did not pay her, I explained to her, was because I had spent $20 filling her car up with gas that Monday, and twice during the week when she had no money, I had loaned her $5 each time for lunch at work. So the reason she barred the door and was not going to let me back in was because I owed her $30.
Did you get any of your property at any time after August 30th?
Well, I stayed the night after the police came and were called after I kicked the door in.
Oh, so you kicked the door in?
Well, I kicked it once and the door opened and it shattered the door jamb. So yes, I kicked the door in.
Were the police with you when you kicked the door in?
Were the police what?
With you?
No.
Well, what happened when you kicked the door in?
Well, I had a burrito that had been going cold for about an hour. I sat down on the sofa and ate it.
What'd she do when you kicked the door in?
She called the police, and I sat and waited and let her know when the police had arrived, and we talked to the police when they got there.
And you stayed the night that night? Is that
Yes,
right?
I did.
And you left the next day?
Left the next day.
What did you leave?
I left everything.
Like what's everything?
All of my computer, my bed, most of my clothing, every
you ever
belonging that I had other than what I could carry in my arms.
Did you ever get your computer?
No, I did not.
Where's his computer?
I had to sell it to pay for glasses after 3 weeks of him not coming back to get it, and I had to have glasses for work, and I had no money to pay for it. That he broke.
How much did you get for
I
the
got
computer?
$150, and I brought.
What else did you sell?
That's all I sold.
Where's his bed?
The bed is at my apartment. He gave me the bed before he moved in because mine was too short for him to sleep on, and he didn't have a place to store mine.
I thought he was
and
sleeping on the sofa.
He didn't want to sleep on the sofa after he moved in. He wanted me to sleep on the sofa because he worked harder than I did, and the sofa was too short for him.
Did he come back to the house with a police officer to get his other property?
No, we tried to get him to. The lieutenant that investigated the case and he was supposed to have taken his stuff the day he assaulted me. He would not make an effort.
I want you to tell me about the assault, Miss Coleman.
Okay.
He kicked in the door.
Yes, ma'am.
And what happened when he kicked in the door?
He took my cell phone and the home phones and kept them to himself that night so that I could not call the police. This was after the door had been broken down, and it took him 30 minutes to knock down that door with a deadbolt on. It wasn't just one time. He kicked it all, and all the neighbors called the cops. I had 5 sets.
Why had you locked him out?
Because he would not pay rent. I told him the only way you're going to stay with me is if we get your own room, and your name is going to go on the lease, so you're obligated to pay the rent. He would not do that. He said he wasn't going to pay me rent. He wasn't going to pay anything. That I could get a 2-bedroom, but I could pay for it myself. And I had gone to work. He had a job, but he quit it because he didn't want to work. He wanted to write his book, and he wanted me to support him while he did that.
What was the entire rent on the apartment?
$589 actually a month.
That includes all the utilities?
No, ma'am. He had to have cable TV, so we had the cable TV. We had electric. We had phone that he called his mother on. Also, when he moved in, he agreed to go to work and pay me rent. After a month, I had to make him go to work. I called the cops. I wanted him to leave. He would not leave. He said he refused to leave.
Robert Tippett says ex-roommate Sally Coleman owes for the return of his belongings. Sally says she kicked him out because he tried to choke her.
Mr. Tippett, I'm not buying it, sir. You kicked in the door. Who did you expect to pay for the door?
Oh, I was quite prepared to pay for the door.
Good, you just did with your computer.
What?
You just did with your computer. Paid for the door that you kicked in.
And also my glasses that he broke during the assault.
Well, tell me about the assault. When was this assault? As far as I heard, he broke down the door and came in and sat down on the couch and ate a burrito.
Right. He told the police that he would leave the next morning. He agreed to. I knew he had a paycheck in his pocket, which he wouldn't share with me as usual. And he said he would get all this stuff the next morning. It was like 11 o'clock the next morning. He still was making no effort to leave. I started putting his stuff on the couch. I said, okay, get your stuff. Get out of my house. He wouldn't make any effort. So I started to take his stuff out and put it on the porch. He grabbed me by the hair, slung me around, slung me on the floor, put his arm around my neck, tried to choke me until I almost fainted. Then he pulled me up off the floor by the hair on the back of my head and told me he was going to kill me for what I'd done to him.
Is that right, Mr. Tippett?
No, it's complete fabrication, Your Honor.
Really? I mean, none of this happened.
I had
Your
a
Honor,
police
this
report.
woman is a liar, and she has a history of doing things that prove that she's a liar.
Mr. Tippett,
As this
Mr.
evidence shows right here that
Sure,
I
let me
owed her
see it.
nothing. This is where I went down and paid the Fort Worth court $309.98 just a couple of weeks before this event even occurred.
Yes.
That's why she had no money, and I loaned
For
her
what?
$10.
For what?
That was my...
That was for writing bad checks, and she called me several times during the day on that day and said that she was going to be arrested for not being able to pay that $309.98.
That was my money. He got my paycheck and took it down there to pay because he
That's a
wasn't
lie,
working,
Your Honor.
and I couldn't
That's
get
a
off
lie.
work to go.
That is a receipt that has my name on it.
I know it has your name on it. She said it was her money. Where'd you get $309.98 from?
That was money that I had
From where?
from work.
What work? You told me you didn't have a job.
I never told you that. I was an independent contractor for a local courier service in Dallas-Fort Worth area. I worked it was 5 to 6 days a week from 8 till 5.
Mr. Tippett, Mr. Tippett, don't think so. Who are you?
A friend of Robert's.
Is he living with you now?
No.
Good.
I have a...
Shh. Stand up. How long have you been his friend?
Since September, the mid-September of this year.
Of this year?
Correct.
Oh, then you know nothing.
Okay.
Sit down. Except for one thing. How many days a week was he working starting in mid-September?
He started work in, I think it was right at the beginning of October.
Thank you. Sit down.
You're welcome.
Happy. Your computer paid for the kick-down door. Listen to me very carefully. Is he out of your life?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you change the
Thank you.
locks?
Yes, ma'am.
Very good. Goodbye. Have a happy life. Don't take anybody into your home that you
Right.
met on the internet. You understand me?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Goodbye. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
He was so hostile to me that I couldn't stand to leave. I was afraid of him.
That's total fabrication.
The final straw was when he kicked down my door and assaulted me.
I kicked the door in. That's all I did.
Live by myself the rest of my life.
Get a dog.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Balloonist versus White. Step forward, please.
Executive search consultant David Ballounis is suing his former employee, 23-year-old waitress Erin White, for an unpaid loan to buy a car. Erin says David gave her the money with the hopes of having a relationship.
Mr. Ballounis, you claim a loan to the defendant for a car.
Correct.
And she said there was never a loan, that you made a gift to her of this money for the car. And in addition to that, she says that she did some work for you. How do you know her?
We had met when I was working on one of my rental properties. Erin approached me and asked if she could help out on some of the properties in order to supplement her income.
Help out doing what?
Painting, cleaning, wallpapering.
What kind of rental properties do you have?
I have townhomes, condominiums, and some single-family homes.
And did she do any work for you?
Yes, she did.
When did she start to do work for you?
She began work someplace in the neighborhood of 7903.
Tell me about the car loan.
The car loan is something that she requested of me. I know she had a difficult time getting around town, and she first approached me and asked for a loan for $2,000, saying she didn't have quite enough to be able to buy the car. And then in the next conversation, she came to the office and said, "Can you make it $2,500?"
And when was that, sir?
That was the day that I wrote the check, which would have been August the 21st of this year.
So she had already been doing work for you since July
Correct.
and been paid.
Correct.
So you gave her a check for $2,500. What was the agreement as far as repayment?
A repayment I had actually, because Erin, at least at that time, said she was interested in doing more work. I thought my downside risk was somewhat limited, and she seemed like a reasonable person. So I had her sign a promissory note as well as an amortization schedule.
Can I see it, please?
Yes.
Okay.
May I also see that, please?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
On the money that I had borrowed from Mr. Blennis, there was a period of time that was for about a week and a half before I had asked for the money from him, which I was not paid. When I had gone back through, recaulked things, done my final cleaning, I had waxed down the cabinets, scrubbed the hardwood floors, which was, I feel, as far as $2,500 was payment for the work that I had done that week.
I didn't understand the word you just said. Is what you're trying to tell me?
As far as the
I'm
$2,500.
speaking.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
A loan, as far as me working it off or me giving him, is the same thing.
No, that's
Yes,
not
it
true.
is. Well, to me,
No,
it
no,
is. Yes.
No, no, no.
Yes.
Here, listen to me.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. David Baluna says former employee Aaron White owes for an unpaid car loan. Aaron says David was trying to buy her affections.
Ms. White, is what you're telling me that after you received this loan, which you now acknowledge was a loan, is that right?
As far as the loan, yes. You asked me a question.
No, I
Was
didn't
it a
ask you.
loan?
No, listen to me. Listen to me, Ms. White. What happened was you said, may I see that?
Correct.
And I said yes. And I handed it to you, and then you started to speak. I didn't ask you any question at all. But since you did volunteer to speak,
Okay.
I want to try to understand what you're telling me now.
Okay.
You did use the word when I took the loan from Mr. Ballonis
Right.
for $2,500. I then went back to the condominiums and did some caulking and did some cleaning down of cabinets and did some polishing. And that was to be used towards this $2,500 loan?
No, ma'am.
Oh, well, then you want to explain it to me?
Okay.
Let's start out with, there was therefore, Bert, can I have that?
Sure.
There was therefore a loan for $2,500.
Correct.
Good. Now, I say this because I've read your answer very carefully that you swore to.
Right.
And in your answer, you never say that there was a loan. In your answer, you say, the money the plaintiff is asking for is money he willingly gave me to buy a car. I compensated him through work that I did. And then, of course, you say that the reason he gave you this money was because he wanted more of a social relationship than anything else. That's what you also claim in here. But nothing in here, you don't acknowledge a loan in any way.
May I speak?
And you also say here, I never signed an agreement to pay him anything.
Okay, may I speak now to try to counteract with what you're saying? The paper that I signed, if it was a loan or not, a loan may mean advancement of either the money as far as I can work off to pay you back the loan, or I can give you money for back the loan. As far as me working it off or me giving him, it's the same thing.
No, that's
Yes,
not
it
true.
is. Well, to me,
No,
it
no,
is. Yes.
No, no, no.
Yes.
Here, listen to me. If you sign an agreement that gives you a loan schedule, then what you do is have an accounting of, well, after I took out this loan and the September payment was due, I didn't give him a September payment, but I did caulking, painting, papering in the amount of $570, deducting that from the loan. You sign it, he signs it, and you deduct it.
But that's not what that was.
Well, then now you can explain it.
Okay. The money, I had asked Mr. Blennis for a loan, but prior to when he gave me the loan, there was a period of time which he hadn't paid me. I have two of my checks. He would give me pay stubs. You know, I would get copies of the checks every time I cashed them, but I had never gotten from that week. And for about a week, he was paying me around $600 a week
Ms. White,
to
is
do my
what you're
work.
suggesting to me that before he gave you this money, you had worked for
Right.
him and he hadn't compensated you?
Right.
That's bull.
Whatever.
Because you are an intelligent, articulate woman. And as an intelligent, articulate woman, you would never have signed a loan agreement that said that you owed him this money plus 8% interest. You would have said, well, before I'm speaking. Before I sign this, let's deduct what you owe me. So instead of $2,500, I worked for you for this week and that week, and you hadn't paid me, so that I only owe you $1,600. And you would not have signed a payment schedule for him.
I didn't know that's what I signed. I was in a hurry to leave, so I kind of just ran through and signed my name on the things, knowing that I was going to work off the money to him.
Is this a witness for anything?
Yes.
To what?
To the fact that he knows how many times I tried to contact Mr. Belenis, I could get no answer. The lady that rents from Mr. Belenis.
Just contact him for what?
He says I've had a hard time getting. That I never called him back. I did try to call him back. I left messages with his office. I mean, I can't go pay off
for
the
what?
money.
You didn't say anything about not calling him back.
But I'm supposed to be in. This was my only means of money at that time. I had no job but him. So how
then, what you're telling? Listen to me.
Other than by my labor.
You don't want to say anything, do you?
Well,
you want to say?
Yeah,
listen, you want to say something? Are you sure you want to say something? You sure?
Yeah.
I'm waiting for you. Go ahead.
I just wanted to make the statement that she was supposed to my knowledge, was supposed to work off the money that he gave her. It was supposed to be in where he loaned her the money and she did work for his company, and they was going to deduct that from the payment.
Thank you very much. Sit down.
All right.
May I say something else?
Let me explain something to you, sir. That's not what she just told me. What she just told me was that she had already worked for him and he hadn't paid her.
That's also it.
Just a second. She had already done work for him and he hadn't paid her. And a big chunk of this money was for money that he already owed her. Are you following me?
I'm following you. It was supposed
Good!
Well, you don't have to scream. I'm just saying.
Well, I don't know why you're here.
Well, cause I'm being a witness, that's why.
Well, you have nothing important to say.
Okay,
Judgment for
what
the
else?
plaintiff in the amount of $2,500. Pay your bills.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I firmly believe that if Erin put as much energy into doing creative work as she does into creative fraud, she would do much better and be a much happier person.
There was obviously some kind of feelings from him towards me to try to keep me around longer.
Completely untrue.
Always asking me to go eat breakfast with him, eat dinner with him.
I thought I was being nice. I actually took Tommy and Erin out to lunch, or dinner rather, on the way home one night because they didn't have a car.
Anytime you do anything, put it in writing.
Be very careful in your business dealings with people.
May be seated. Ladies, have seats, please.
Mr. Huffine, was the defendant... What I gather is you had one son.
Yes.
Her daughter was in a relationship with your son.
Yes.
And he was tragically killed.
Right.
At that time, you decided to buy some burial plots.
5 of them.
So that when your son was buried, you would know that you would be buried next to him and where the family would be. She bought plots above you.
Her daughter did.
In any event, this is your complaint. You found out that a stranger had been buried in one of your plots.
Yes.
And it is your claim that Ms. Donovan caused that to happen.
Yes.
And that she forged your signature for the authorization with the cemetery.
Yes.
In order to move around the spots.
Right.
You say you never gave you permission for that.
That's correct.
And you want to be compensated.
Yes.
Ms. Donovan says that you did, in fact, give your permission, and she says that she can prove that you gave your permission. And she is counterclaiming because she said she's had to go through all kinds of legal gymnastics to clear herself of these allegations. So first tell me, when did your son pass away?
In 1997, December 24th.
And how did he die?
The doctor made a mistake, drilled into his brain.
So it was a surgical error?
Yes.
How long had you been living with Miss Donovan at the time?
Less than 2 years.
And how long had your son been involved in a relationship with her daughter?
Probably since, 13 years old.
How old was he when he died?
18.
Now, can you show me, please, the burial plot locations? I would like to be able to see that so I could put it in context.
I have the video right here, if you'd like it.
I would. Can you hold that a second, please? Mr. Huffine, can you walk up to the monitor, please?
Yes.
And I'd like you to sort of point out with me to your finger as it's being explained to me.
Alrighty.
Okay.
This one here is my parents. They're located in the upper cemetery. This right here is my son. When he passed away, I bought these 5 lots right here. This one included. I bought these 2 for me and whoever I was married to, and my ex-wife and whoever she was married to at the time. And the son was in the middle.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So you bought your sons, one for you, one for your wife, if should you remarry, one for your former wife, and her mate.
Yes, I did.
So that you would all be together. Now, where did the defendant's daughter buy their plot?
She bought the one in front of my son.
Excuse me.
One. Just a second. One plot or 2?
Just one.
In front of his?
Right.
Okay. Go ahead.
And on May 3rd, I got a call from my ex-wife, and she said, I'm at the cemetery, And she said, it scared me to death. Someone was in your plot, my plot that I bought. And I said, no, I think you're mistaking. And she says, no, I'm not. So I called Jerry and I said, you didn't do anything with these plots, did you? And she goes, no, I didn't. So I went down the cemetery and I seen that Anthony David was buried in one of my plots. So I went up to the...
Was it the one right next to your son or one
No,
over?
it was the end. So I went up to the main office there at the cemetery, and they gave me a letter that Jerry had wrote and forged and switched plots on me.
Can I see a copy of that letter, please?
And here's one for the notary if you'd like to look at that too, saying that he did not do that.
I'd like to see both. Continue.
And at this point, I went through different attorneys. They explained to me what she had did, and they gave me a copy of that.
And you said I never signed it.
No, I never signed that. She also called the cemetery and told them she did not remember doing this.
That's hearsay. Yes, I'll hear you.
I thought it would make it easier. I do have copies from the cemetery of the plots. That would make it easier for you.
I'd like to see them, please. Okay. Tell me the circumstances surrounding the plaintiff agreeing to switch cemetery plots so that you and your daughter would be together.
Side by side. I'd be head-to-head with Larry. She would be head-to-head with Michael. Michael's mother and her boyfriend would be on one side of Michael.
And Anthony Davis is a stranger to everybody.
Right.
So I want you to tell me the circumstances surrounding Mr. Huffine agreeing to make that change, which in effect would say to him, if you marry either your wife or your ex-wife's mate could not be buried in the same line. Explain that to me.
When we bought the plots, and we did...
By the way, who bought them?
I did.
Larry did. They were under his name.
He paid for them?
Yes, but...
So he paid for them, so they were his plots?
Right. But all my monies went into Larry's checking account, and I do have proof of that.
I don't care about that.
Okay.
He bought the plots?
He bought the plots. They were in his name. At some point, I don't have a date, but I believe it was in early 1999, my daughter had said she wished that I would have bought my plot next to her. And she said, well, I wonder if you can switch it. I said, I don't know. So I called the cemetery. I asked the cemetery, can you exchange your plot if you want to? They said, you can, as long as you do it before the last payment is made, and it has to be a letter
from the owner,
a request
from the
in
owner.
writing, notarized. So I didn't do it immediately. I thought about it for a little bit of time, and to be honest, I don't remember any specific hard, long talks between Larry and myself. I just remembered that he did agree to it. I did write the letter out myself.
You wrote the letter out yourself, and that was in 1999.
Correct.
Were you still together as a couple then?
Yes, we were.
When did you separate from Mr. Huffine?
The end of August 1999.
So not far after this.
Not
so I
far.
assume things had not been going well for a while.
Larry had suffered a lot of personality changes due, I guess, to Michael's death.
So things had not been going well for a while.
Right.
You separated in August, and this was done in May. It was a brief few months. So I assume that in May, things were not going well between the two of you.
Everything seemed to be going fine, except for that Larry was very depressed a lot.
So things were not going fine.
Well, I don't know
I'm not
exactly what you
interested in what
mean.
you
I
have to
mean, we
say
weren't
now.
screaming, fighting, tearing each other's hair out.
Well, then how come you separated a couple of months later?
Because the end of June or July, he went to work in Utah, and he had an affair.
Yes?
And when I found out, I moved out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
That's his handwriting. That is inconsistent with the notary's logbook.
Well, his log states that just one individual came.
Correct, and that's Miss Donovan, and she signed the cemetery affidavit.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Larry Huffine claims ex-girlfriend Geraldine Donovan forged documents so she could switch around his prepaid grave plots.
So things were going absolutely fine until that time.
To me, they were.
And to you?
No, before I told her in the beginning of '99 she would be moving to start saving her money up and get her a place.
When did you tell her that?
Probably February.
Tell me about the conversation that you had with her.
It took place. She told me she was going to move her daughter back in. And I said, no, she's not. And she says, well, if she's not moving back in, I'm moving out. And I said, well, I have to go to Utah till the end of August. When I come back, have your own place.
Why did you not want her to move her daughter back in?
Many different reasons. Her daughter was very disrespectful. She was 19 years of age. She was experiencing an ecstasy drug, and I didn't want to be around it. And I told her no, and she could not accept that answer.
And that was in February?
That was in February, she knew.
After February, did you continue to live as a family with the defendant?
Yes.
Well, then how did she know you were serious?
Because when I told her she was moving out, I was very serious. She knew that.
Okay. Was your daughter living with you in January of 1999?
I don't believe so.
Was there a time when she was planning on moving back in 1999?
I don't remember.
Okay. It is your claim, Ms. Donovan, that the plaintiff agreed to switching of these plots. And according to your answer, you have an expert witness who is prepared to testify with regard to that. I'd like to hear the witness. Is that you?
Yes.
Step up, please. Witness been sworn, Berg?
Witness has been sworn, Your Honor.
Tell me your name.
Andrea McNichol.
Ms. McNichol, when did you become familiar with the defendant?
Well, I actually just by telephone on May 8th, 2003.
And what did she tell you?
She asked me to examine a document, I guess you're calling that the cemetery plot document that
Yes.
was notarized. I asked her for the original. It's always best to examine the original. She called back later and said she made an attempt to get the original, that they would not make it available. I told her that anything that I could find would have to be contingent on that the copies that I looked at were true representations of the original. In other words, sometimes you get the original and you see that someone had cut and pasted something on there, or there are things on that that you cannot see when you see the copies. After that, she provided a large sampling of signatures. I told her to get the signatures of Larry Huffine and the notary.
Okay, this letter from the notary. Did you, in fact, examine the signature on the notary?
Yes.
And you concluded that the signature on the notary was the same?
Yes.
To my naked eye, the J's are totally different.
Well, if you'll notice on the letter, he writes his J's 4 times.
Well, he wrote it because he evidently looked at this. You've seen this logbook?
Yes.
It is clear that according to the notary's logbook, he did, in fact, notarize something for Miss Donovan.
Correct. But I would like to call your attention to the fact that I was also provided a large sampling of his signatures, not just the one.
May I see them, please?
Yes. Actually, I prepared this whole report. This is the copy they made for you.
Now, that's what I'm looking at. Well, clearly, his signature on this document, which has nothing to do with this case, but I'm just looking at the signature, the J is different from the J on this document. Let's take a look.
I don't find it different.
Let's take a look.
You never sign your name the same way twice.
Let's take a look. No, but this J is totally backwards.
It's
and
my
that's
opinion
totally
that
different.
That's his handwriting.
I'm just asking you about the J.
Okay,
that's
well,
totally different.
This other document he signs, in my opinion, with several shapes to the letter J.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
This doesn't strike you as being strange?
Yes, it does.
Somebody sends an I love you greeting card and signs it, love Larry Huffine?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Larry Huffine says ex-girlfriend Geraldine Donovan switched around his prepaid grave plots without his permission.
What do you say is his handwriting in this?
Just the notary box.
In this?
Just in the notary box. Now, unless the whole notary area was cut and pasted on here, this is his handwriting in this lower
Which is
right
a
corner.
possibility.
Yes, without seeing the original, it is a possibility.
That is inconsistent, however, with his log.
Right, but his contention...
No, not his contention, but it's inconsistent with his log.
Well, his log states that just one individual came
Correct. Just one individual, and that's Miss Donovan, and she signed a cemetery affidavit. Okay. And it is your opinion that the signature on this cemetery document is his signature?
Yes.
Would you go over there and bring that board up closer to me so that I can see it?
I do have original documents, if you'd like to see them.
Okay, so the question signature from this cemetery document is at the top.
Okay.
Okay, now I have not had the opportunity to examine the original, but if the copy shows that there was not a cut and paste and that this ink was placed upon the paper, then these signatures match exactly to these other signatures.
Some of these are from checks and some of these are from other things.
Correct.
Cards, greeting cards, etc.
Yes.
Okay, put that back, please, Ms. McNichol. I'd like you up here, please. Are you telling me that you made your decision based on the documents that the defendant gave you?
Yes.
And one of the documents that she gave you was a greeting card. I have it here, Hallmark greeting card. I'd like to see the original. Bird, would you hand me the original, please?
I think that's all of them. There's several originals.
I just want to look at the greeting card.
A little strange with a love and a full name.
Isn't it?
This
is the one. Ms. McNichol, this doesn't strike you as being strange?
Yes, it does.
Somebody sends an I love you greeting card and signs it, love, Larry Huffine.
And the
He
date.
signed every card he ever gave me.
Everything she gave me was like
Larry D. Huffine, Larry Huffine, always.
3700, love, Larry Huffine.
I can only go on what's presented to me.
I understand. Thank you very much. Good. Now I will hear from your daughter. She's been dying to say something. I'm going to hear from you.
Your Honor, you have a letter right in front of you from the cemetery saying that the document is an original document.
No, it's not an original. I don't have an original.
It's a true
It is a true.
I do not have an original.
The city of Las Vegas will not release it.
I do not have an original, and neither, listen to me, and neither did your forensic expert have an original. Now, your forensic expert could have seen the original, but your forensic expert does not have the original.
No, that's not what I'm referring to, ma'am.
Fine.
I'm referring to you have a letter before you.
I understand what you told me, that some clerk said that this is a copy of the original. I understand what you're saying to me. You're not going to be able to change that your forensic expert did not have the original. I have to make a judgment, and my judgment is based on several things. I believe, Ms. McNichol, that you are a qualified expert in the field of forensics. I believe that you were quite honest with me when you said that you did not have the original, and that perhaps, had you had the original, your judgment would have been different. Without having the original, you believe the copy of the document that I have is Larry Huffine's signature. I disagree with you. I have to ask myself why someone who had so carefully planned for the death of his entire family would have permitted a scenario where a stranger could be buried next to him. That's one thing. The timing of this letter is also very important. Ms. Donovan would have me believe that Mr. Huffine would, during a time of domestic strife, be so kind as to permit the defendant and her daughter to move into a situation where a stranger is occupying the cemetery plots that he has bought and paid for. That doesn't make sense. And if it doesn't make sense, it's usually not true. So I do not believe that he ever agreed to this. Now, I also find most bizarre a love card that is signed, Love, Larry Huffine. But some people, maybe that's strange. And it is possible that that's strange. I have to make a judgment based upon what has a ring of truth to it. What has a ring of truth to it is Miss Donovan's daughter wanted to be close to her mother and close to the teenage boyfriend. And she persuaded her mother, who knew she was on her way out of this relationship to forge this signature. I believe that that's what happened. And since I'm the final arbiter, because that's where you've put this case, your counterclaim, Ms. Donovan, for damages due to defamation of character and slander are dismissed, and I am awarding Mr. Huffine the $5,000 that he has requested, which is the maximum possible allowance that this court can grant him, although I don't know how he can ever rectify the situation that has occurred with the cemetery plot. I doubt very much whether he can, and for that I am, sir, sincerely sorry. That's all. This case is over.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Thank you, Your Honor.
To be accused of forgery and fraud is not very pleasant.
He is good at gluing stuff on and whiting things out. I've seen her do it on prescriptions before.
He has a new wife now. I believe that she is very upset that there's not going to be a place for her.
She's evil. That's all there is to it.
Professional con.
I've never had the deed, never seen the deed, never been in possession of the deed.
Just thank you, Judge Judy, for doing the right thing.
Teacher. How old is she? 12. Would you step outside, please? Because of the nature of these proceedings, Ms. Sturm, I don't think it's appropriate to have your daughter here. If I think that later on I require her to come in, I will. Mr. Spinner?
Yes, ma'am.
According to your complaint, Ms. Sturm became a friend but was a dance instructor of yours. And you took a series of dance lessons from her. You were encouraged by her to enter a competition with her, and you were successful in winning a couple of medals at that competition, the two of you.
Right.
But that at some point she filed false allegations against you of sexual misconduct.
Right.
And you want to be reimbursed for all of your expenses that you had relative to that. And also, you want to be reimbursed for the unused dance classes that you took. And also, at least one of the medals that you received.
2 medals, Your Honor. 2 medals.
You received 2. You want either one or both. Ms. Sturm says that everything she said was true, that you did in fact make unwarranted and overt sexual movements towards her during the course of your dance and at other times, and whatever complaint she made about you was truthful and accurate, and therefore you're not entitled to recover. She also says that with regard to your dance lessons, the unused time, because you prepaid for a series of dance lessons, she told you that she had a no refund policy. Is that right?
Yes.
So that's her defense. So let me get some facts. How long have you known Ms. Sturm?
We've originally dated in 1997. I met her at a singles dance, and we had a relationship that lasted about a year. And it was a kind of a rocky relationship, and then I ended it, or she ended it.
Okay.
And then after that, we both went our separate ways. She opened up a dance studio earlier this year, January of this year, and I went in about the middle of January. I congratulated her on her success in the dance business, and then I left. But I was in the market for looking for a new studio. I wanted to continue with my dance lessons, and I chose Ms. Sturm because I knew that she had a good reputation for teaching dance. So I decided, well, I'll go ahead and I'll just try this and see what happens.
Okay, you went in to see her in mid-January to congratulate her. Then you decided you wanted to take dance lessons from her. When did you go back, or how did you contact her with regard to those dance lessons?
I started taking dance lessons from her in late February.
And what were the cost of these dance lessons?
She charged, for a set of 10, she charged $400.
And did you pay her the $400?
Well, originally I didn't do that. She has a $50 for one dance lesson a week. So that's what I did at the beginning. And then later on, I paid the $400 for a set of 10.
And had you been paying right along?
I was paying like for maybe a couple of sets of 10 before she denied her services to me. So I actually had done the set of 10 a couple of different times before this incident happened.
Okay. How many hours of lessons do you believe that Ms. Sturm owes you?
Let's see, I gave her a check in June 3rd for check number 642 for $440 for 11 dance lessons.
Well, if in June you gave her $440 for 10, and was that the last money you gave her?
No, actually I gave her another $200, which was for group lessons.
Another $200 for group. So you think she owes you at least for 10?
$640 exactly.
Okay. Now, let me go to Ms. Sturm. When did you make these allegations about his sexual misconduct?
When I did that, it was after I had expelled him verbally on June 15th.
Okay. And you made those complaints to whom?
2 different police stations.
You have a copy of the complaints that you made?
Yes, I do.
I'd like to see. Ms. Sturm, I have some questions for you, madam. I want you to listen to me very carefully.
Okay.
I've read your answer very clearly, and I've read every word of your answer, and I've read the police reports. I want you to specifically tell me the date, time, and place of the sexual misconduct that you allege.
It was June 12th.
What did he do on June 12th?
That's when he lifted me up in the air and had his hand between my legs, and I told him to put me down.
Okay, that was June 12th. When prior to that?
It'd be in the beginning of March. I would have to look at my card when I had lessons.
What did he do in the beginning of March?
He put his hand against my breast.
Where were you?
In my back part of my studio. I have 2 different rooms in my studio.
Were you giving him a lesson?
Yes, I was.
What did you say to him?
Don't do that.
And what did he say?
He just shrugged it off.
When was the next time?
Towards the end of March also was the incident when he first grabbed me and tried to kiss me.
Where was this?
In the second part of the studio, the back room, once again. It was just him and me in that room.
When was the next time?
Those were the incidents. There were various times we would be doing a routine when we were practicing, getting ready for competitions, and he would come up behind me and massage my shoulder, or we would be doing a routine and we'd practice a certain pattern because we'd go over and over, and he would reach out and start to hug me, and there was a lot of hugging going on.
Now, there was a time when you and Mr. Spinner traveled from South Bend to Chicago. And you traveled from South Bend to Chicago for the purposes of participating in a dance competition with him. Is that correct, Ms. Sturm?
Yes, it is.
When was that?
That was June 14th and 15th.
So am I to assume, Ms. Sturm, that the fact that he massaged your back in March, put his hand on your breast in March, grabbed you and tried to kiss you in March, put his hand up your crotch in June, did not discourage you from traveling with him on the 14th and 15th of June to Chicago for the purposes of participating in a contest with him?
I did confront him on the day.
I'm asking you a question. You went with him, is that correct?
Yes, I did.
Now, what prompted you to make these allegations on June 24th, madam? Instead of in March, or April, or June 13th before you went to the competition with him? What was it?
Okay, there was over 23 incidents over that time. You're right. I was putting up with it because, I'd tell him he would, he kept professing his great love for me. I do have...
Miss Sturm, let's understand each other. On the 15th of June, you told me that you cut him off. You told him that he was no longer welcome to come back and take lessons from you. Is that right?
Right. So I told him to get in the car and drive out of my life.
Fine. And you told him that on the 15th of June?
Right.
What did he do after the 15th of June?
Well, first he sent me this letter, Your Honor.
May I see it?
Yes, you may.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Tell me what else happened, madam, when you went willingly and not in the state of bondage to Chicago with him that inspired you to call the police and report sexual abuse on the plaintiff's part. Tell me.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Robert Spenner says ex-girlfriend Angela Sturm falsely accused him of sexual misconduct and harassment. Angela claims while giving him dance lessons, Robert touched her inappropriately.
So what's wrong with this letter? This is not a letter that inspires you to make a report to the police. He's saying either I want my money back or apply the money that I gave you for group lessons towards private lessons. I'm disappointed with the way the weekend went. As far as he's concerned, you acted in an unprofessional manner, and nothing contained in this letter that I've read, absolutely nothing, suggests to me that it was an inspiration for you to contact the police. So tell me what else happened, madam, after the 15th of June, when you went willingly and not in the state of bondage to Chicago with him. that inspired you to call the police and report sexual abuse on the plaintiff's part? Tell me.
Actually, I was not.
Show me a letter. Tell me the rest. Did he come to your house to stalk you after the 15th?
No, he did that on May 20th.
Okay. Tell me what he did on May 20th.
On May 20th, he just showed up at my house at 2 p.m. and
2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Where most of my children were at home. I have 8 children. There were 6 of the children at home. He came to the door. My kid said, "Mom, Robert Spinner wants to talk to you." And so I came to the door. I said, "What do you want?" He says, "I want to talk in private." I said, "No, you're not talking to me in private. You're going to talk to me in front of my children." And he says, "Oh, you cannot treat me like this, Angela. You know, what are you doing to me? You're being so mean. You're being so cruel." And then he said, "I can't continue to talk to you in front of your children." And he left.
Keep going.
Okay, well, first off, a dance student does not come to their dance
Keep going!
Okay, so that's what happened there. And if you want to go back to, you know, I have all these love letters.
I don't want to go back at all. I want to go to a place after June 15th.
Okay, after I received that letter. Okay.
After you received this letter, which you received on June 16th.
Okay.
Let me ask you, did you respond to the letter?
No, I did not.
Okay.
I took it to an advisor.
Took it to a spiritual advisor?
No, a friend.
Ms. Sturm, if somebody writes you this kind of letter, which is not a hostile letter, it's a letter of disappointment, it's a letter of frustration, and you chose in a very unprofessional way not to respond to it at all, and you've already told him, according to you, get in your car and get out of my life. Don't come near me. I'm not giving you lessons anymore. I'm not doing anything. And he says, you owe me money. You owe me money. You choose to ignore him. He comes to your house, and he doesn't want to speak to you in front of your 8 children. He said, I want to speak to you privately. And you say, no, you talk in front of my 8 children. And you know what he does? He does what a mature person would do. He leaves. So I want you to tell me what happened after the 20th of June, which is when you say he came to your house at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, after the 20th, that inspired you to make a formal complaint of sex abuse to the police against the plaintiff after the 20th.
Okay. I was advised not to respond to the letter because the person was said was very angry.
Ms. Sturm, did you hear my words?
Okay.
My words were after June 20th, because so far I've heard nothing that in my judgment gave you cause to call the police and to notify 2 different police officers that he had sexually abused you. So I want you to tell me, what was it after June 20th when he came to your home to talk to you about the problem, the lessons, the money, whatever, and did not behave in any aberrant way? What happened after June 20th that inspired you to go to the police? You have a window of 4 days, madam. Did anything happen?
Right, he kept contacting me after I told him to leave me alone.
Tell me when he contacted you after June 20th.
He sent the letters, and he also called my house on June 23rd, my son Matthew Price.
Just a second. He called your house on June 23rd?
Yes.
Did he speak to you?
No.
Who did he speak to?
My son Matthew Pryke.
Did you call the house on June 23rd, sir? Just answer me yes or no.
Yes, I did.
And did you speak to her son?
Yes, I did.
And what did you say to him?
Actually, when I called her, when I called her house, I was looking at my phone bill, and when you dialed *69, it shows the return, that whoever who called you. She called me at 2:30 in the morning, and I must have spaced out.
Do you have that?
No, I don't have that phone bill.
So is that why you called her?
So I was wondering who called me at this time, and it just didn't dawn on me it was her. So I called the number to find out who called me, and that's all that was. When I finally found out, when I recognized the voice, that was her son, and I said, okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and this is case number 55 on the calendar, the matter of Dyer versus Malone. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Ladies, have seats, please.
Bird, would you please get from Miss Malone the ring in question?
Certainly.
Thank you.
Give me a second. Oh, it's okay. Take your time.
Very nice. Miss Dyer, Miss Malone is your sister-in-law. She's married to your brother, and before this whole incident with this piece of jewelry, the two of you enjoyed, according to what I've read, a very cordial, friendly relationship.
Yes, ma'am.
According to you. It is your claim that Miss Malone has your ring.
Correct.
She says that you lost it, her niece found it, her niece sold it to her. That's how she came into possession of the ring. In any event, this is your ring. It is clearly conceded that this ring initially belonged to you. You had it made?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And according to you, your sister-in-law really loved the ring.
Yes, ma'am.
At some point, she even wanted to buy it. Anyway, you want your ring back.
Yes, ma'am.
Miss Malone says that you tossed the ring out in some clothes that you were giving away. She knows that because she purchased the ring from your niece?
Yes, ma'am.
Who had found the ring. You fixed the ring.
Yes, ma'am.
Put in a new stone or two, and it's your ring. And aside from that, you got paid for the ring from your insurance.
Exactly.
So that finders, keepers, losers, weepers, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And in addition, Miss Malone says that you've gone around saying that she took the ring, you threatened her and her family, and she wants the value of the replacement diamond, the fixing of the ring, and she's got a counterclaim. When did you have the ring made?
I had the ring made in 1988.
And when, for the first time, did your sister-in-law tell you she loved the ring? Do you remember?
She was sort of my best friend at the time that I had the ring made and designed. She's seen the ring after I had it made, and she always admired the ring. She always begged me for the ring. I'm going to get that ring, you know, I want that ring. And I'm like, no, no, no.
Okay.
She loved the ring.
She wanted the ring.
Right.
Now, when did you stop wearing the ring?
About 2 years ago.
Why?
There was a stone missing.
When did you notice the ring was missing?
I noticed the ring missing a while back. I was so heartbroken over the ring gone, but I never reported to police. And no, I have not made an insurance claim on this ring. Okay, I just want to make that clear. So in May of 2003, she's married to my brother, and I purchased a home in the state of Virginia. So I came to her home, and I announced that I was moving and so forth and so on. The first thing that came out of her mouth was, "Where's that ring?" I'm like, I haven't seen the ring in a while. I'm hoping that when I move, that maybe I'll run across it. And so then I move. It's a lot of transferring from moving from one state to another. So I, in January, came to the defendant's house because I was purchasing cigarettes for her. And so I called my brother and told him I brought his wife some cigarettes and I was on my way over. So I arrived at her home, and I went...
You spoke to your brother, not the defendant?
No, I didn't speak to her. I spoke to my brother and told him I was coming to his home. So when I came to her home, and I looked up across the room, I just seen the ring glisten. I knew immediately when it glistened that it was my ring. I went over there, and I grabbed her hand, and I said, "How did you get my ring?" She's like, "This isn't your ring. This isn't your ring." I said, "Yes, it is, Sonia. That's the ring. You've been begging me forever." "No, it's not." And so I was so upset that I was shaking and panicky and this and the other. And then once I brought it to my brother's attention, my brother says, "Yeah, that is your ring. You know, sis, that is your ring. Now I recall, that is your ring, you know." So she says to me, "Well, I paid $50 for the ring, and I've got money involved into it, and I'm not just handing over the ring."
Okay. Now, Miss Malone, I'm going to go to you. You tell me where you got this ring from.
I bought it off my niece, Claudette Sparks.
Okay, step up. Your name is Sparks?
Yes.
And how are you her niece?
I'm through marriage. Her husband is my husband's uncle.
Okay, so on the other side.
Yes.
And how did you acquire this ring?
First of all, I just want to know that, you know, I'm an independent witness. I'm not on either side because I don't want to stand in the middle of family. She was having a garage sale, said that whatever...
Who was having a garage
Lisa. She was getting ready to move, was having a garage sale. She said, "Whatever clothes is left, whatever you want, come and get it." I went over there with garbage bags. I filled up 16 big black garbage bags.
Of clothes?
Of clothes. I brought them home. I didn't go through them right away. I left them outside because a lot of people give me clothes, and that's what I do. I, you know, put them to the side for whoever could use them. When I was going through the clothes, I started bringing bags at a time in. Didn't know whose it was. I picked up a big pile of clothing, and underneath I saw a ring. At the time I saw it, there were diamonds missing, and it was really dirty. It was all black. I didn't think it was real. I let my daughter play with it. Sonia had seen the ring. How
did she see the ring?
When she had come over, I was showing her my daughter's play jewelry. My daughter had gotten jewelry for Christmas, and it was just in my dresser drawer. We were just going through things, and she saw the ring.
And she asked about it?
Yes.
And what did you tell her, Miss Sparks? Where did you tell her you got the ring?
I told her that I found it laying in the hallway in front of the bathroom. It's exactly like I didn't tell her that it fell out of clothes. I didn't tell her none of that. I told her I found it in front of my bathroom door when I was going through clothes.
When you were listen to me, let's be very careful, okay? Because one thing I've learned in my business, if it's not logical, it's usually not true.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Dyer says her sister-in-law, Sonia Malone, stole her ring. Sonia says she bought the ring from her niece.
Now, if somebody says to you, where did you get that ring? A normal person would not say, I found it on the floor in my bathroom.
Okay, I understand.
Do you understand?
Yes, it fell out of the
They
pile
would
of
say, when I was going through bags of clothes, I found it. Right?
Yes.
The next normal question from somebody who knew what the ring was would say, where did you get the clothes, right?
Yes.
And what did you tell Miss Malone when she asked you where you got the clothes from?
I do believe I told her that these were some clothes from Lisa's garage sale that I had brought over.
Right. Okay. Now, what did she say to you?
She just asked me if I wanted to sell the ring.
And you said?
I said, it's ugly. I would give it to you, but I could use the money, so here.
So here what?
I sold her the ring. I gave it to her.
You sold her the ring for?
$50.
Okay, and she took out $50 and gave it to you?
Yes, in cash.
And you say, I'm an independent witness. So let me tell you where you went wrong in the first place. If I'm part of a family and I go to pick up some clothes, and in the bag of clothes I find something that is valuable or potentially valuable, if I'm a good family member, I call Lisa and say, you know, Lisa, you know what I found in that bag of clothes that I took from you? I found this piece of jewelry. I don't know if it's a good piece of jewelry. It's not, but, you know, I'm sure you didn't realize that you were throwing it out with your clothes. Here's your ring back.
Yes, Your Honor.
Right?
Yes. But I was not aware that that was her ring. I had different clothes that were coming.
Baloney. Baloney. Even if you suspected that it might have been coming from her bag, if you suspected it might be hers, a family member says, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Especially when she said, where did it come from? Light bulb should have gone off in your head, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Sit down. Now, Miss Malone, let's get to you, madam. She told you that she believed that this bag of clothing came from the plaintiff. This is a ring that you had previously seen. So you knew the ring belonged to Lisa,
No,
right?
I didn't.
Yes, you did. Don't be a liar. Liar, liar, pants on fire. Don't be a liar. You
just
knew
told
the
me-
ring belonged to
Wait a
Lisa. You thought
She told me
that
she just found the ring. She didn't say it came specifically out of a bag.
she found the ring where? She just testified. Are you telling me that
In
your
her
witness
house.
is lying?
In her house.
She found the ring. What, the ring fairy brought it into her house? She told you how she got it, Miss Malone. Don't fib to me. I'll make you look like a fool. You said, where did you find it? She said, I was cleaning out bags of clothes. What clothes? She already testified to that. So don't be a liar.
I'm not a liar.
Yes, you are. You knew this ring. You had seen this ring over the years. You knew the ring belonged to the plaintiff. You don't even deny in your answer that you knew the ring belonged to the plaintiff or that you had a strong suspicion that it belonged to the plaintiff. What you say in your answer is, I bought it for $50.
Correct.
I paid to have it fixed.
Correct.
Therefore, it's mine.
Correct.
Right. Wrong. Wrong. You knew that the ring did not belong to your witness to sell. And you knew that when you gave her $50 for the ring, that it was worth a lot more than $50. So you were not a purchaser without knowledge that this was either lost, misplaced, or perhaps stolen. Therefore, now your claim is that you paid $50 for it, which I reject because you shouldn't have paid $50 for it. You shouldn't have paid anything for it. You should have said to her, especially a family member, you better ask Lisa whether that's her ring, whether she intended to give it away. That's what you should have said first. Then when you invested money, you expect to get your money back.
Right.
You don't get it back. You did the wrong thing. If you do the wrong thing, you don't get the money back. So aside from making trouble in your family, which I'm sure you did between your husband and his sister and everybody else and getting her involved, all because you wanted an extra piece of jewelry, you did the wrong thing. When you do the wrong thing, you're not rewarded. So you don't get the ring back, and you don't get what you paid for it, and you don't get what you paid to have it fixed. She gets the ring back. Now, let's get to your counter.
The ring looked familiar. I asked her if Lisa had seen the ring. She told me that Lisa had offered her $100 for the ring, but she chose not to sell it to her.
Lie. Let me tell you something. She says she didn't know whose ring it was. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Your witness says she didn't know whose ring it was when she sold it to you. Give her back the ring.
Thank you.
Now,
Thank you.
your first counterclaim, Miss Malone, is that the plaintiff has been telling people that you have her ring wrongfully. Is that right?
She said that I stole the ring. I never stole the ring.
Well, you did. In effect, you did. Because she didn't know that the ring was not an abandoned piece of property. You knew. Now, Miss Malone, there isn't very much question in my mind that if your husband had told you she was coming over, you would have taken off the ring before she got there.
No, that's not true.
Oh, well, for a while she hadn't seen it. And you do wear a lot of jewelry. So my sense is that you probably, had you had noticed that she was coming over, you would have slipped it off your finger and said, I don't want to start any trouble.
That's not true. I didn't think the ring was hers, Your Honor.
I don't believe it. Don't believe it.
Okay.
I don't believe you. Circumstances suggest to me that you knew or should have known, if you wanted to open up your mind, that the ring belonged to Lisa. At least enough that you would have said to her, Lisa, is this yours? All in all, you did the wrong thing. You don't get rewarded for doing the wrong thing. Your counterclaim's dismissed. You have your ring back. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I didn't know it was her ring.
She knew this ring. She knew this ring when she seen it from Claudette.
Nobody in the family wants nothing to do with her. She's a trifling lying.
She was my friend, and she was my birth coach for 2 children.
I was not her best friend. I didn't hang out with her.
I'm just glad it's going to be over with now. Maybe, you know, the family can calm down a little bit.
I knew in my heart that I would prevail on this and would get my ring back.
She ain't gonna never be around my kids or nothing. She's out of our family.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Romero versus Clemens. Step forward, please.
Nurse Penny Romero is suing her ex-boyfriend's current wife, homemaker Connie Clemens, for selling a car belonging to her daughter.
Mrs. Romero, the defendant is your former husband's wife. Is that right?
It is his wife. He is not my ex-husband.
He is the father of your daughter.
Yes, Your Honor.
So you were never married.
Correct.
This is his wife.
Yes.
And that's your daughter?
Yes, that's my daughter.
So this is your complaint. Where's the husband? You can stand up. Your complaint alleges that in 2001, you put down a down payment for a car for your daughter.
Yes.
And it was about $500. And at some point, she went to live with her father and his wife. When was that?
In 2002.
And she took the car with her.
Yes.
At the time she moved in with her father, she was how old?
17.
The car was sold or traded in, according to them, because your daughter got a new car. Did you get a new car?
Yes, I did.
While you were living with your father?
No, I got it this December. I was living on my own.
Okay. As a matter of fact, I have a few questions for you, so you can stand next to your mother. You want the money back that you put into the car?
Yes.
Oh, so this is going to be very fast. It's not going to be long. It's not very complicated. When you moved out of your mother's house, you took the car with you?
She wouldn't let me take it when I moved out, but then I called her and I said, this is the car I have. It's a pile of crap. I need that car back. And she said, okay, that's fine. She told me where it was, and Connie and my dad said we needed to pay off the money that was owed on it still. So they went in and paid off what was owed. They traded in my car, the car that I was driving at the time.
Just one second. So your mother first said that you couldn't have the car. She wouldn't let you take it with you. Is that right? Even though it had been a gift?
Yes.
Then you called and asked her whether or not you could please have it, and she said, well, I left it at somebody's garage or somebody's lot or whatever. And your father and his wife went in and paid off the rest of what was owed on the car.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yes.
How much was that?
Oh, I don't know what they paid.
How much was that?
We traded her old car for it that we bought her because her mom wouldn't let her use that car.
So when you moved in with your father, they bought you a used car to get around in, but it wasn't a good one? Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah.
And then they traded that one in and
Yeah.
paid off the one that your mother had bought for you.
Yes.
Now you had the use of a better car.
Yes.
Excuse me,
And
Your
you
Honor.
don't speak. Now, when you left your father's house, did you take the car with you?
Yeah.
And what happened to the car?
The heater broke in it, and it was winter, and the hood didn't latch, and the windows didn't seal, and the roof was falling off, and so I needed to get a new car.
And did you tell that to your father?
Yeah.
And what did you do? Did you trade it in?
No, I wasn't planning on doing anything with that car. That I was just going to buy this new car, and so I just left the car at their house.
And what did you do with the car?
We put it up for sale.
Okay. And how much did you sell it for?
$250.
Tell me your first name.
Susie.
Susie. You left the old car at their house.
Yeah.
What did you believe they were going to do with the car?
I didn't know anything. We were deciding if we were going to try and sell it and split the money. There was never anything decided.
Now, when they told you that they sold the car, had you known that they were...
I didn't know until right now that the car was even sold.
Okay, so the car is sold. Who did you sell the car to?
Just a family up in Grand Ron.
And what year car was this?
An 86.
So they got $250. Do you want the $250 back? It was your car.
It's not really important to me.
Right. I assumed not. You lived there and they sort of bought you one, traded in one to get the other one. Now, my question, Ms. Romero, what makes you think you're entitled to $1,100 from these people?
Because when we originally bought the car, I went with Susie, we picked it out, I put the down payment on it, I made payments on it until she got to work. The agreement was we tried to get her a new car financed, we were going to sell the old car and split it, or either we were going to fix it for my 16-year-old son to drive.
You're not entitled to your money back. You made your daughter a gift. She can do whatever she wanted with the car. There's no strings attached to a gift. You bought your daughter a car. You bought it for her in 2001. That's 3 years ago. She's been through 2 cars since. I mean, get a life. Your case is dismissed.
I have a life. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Sir, have a seat.
Mrs. Sharia, this is your son.
Yes.
And your claim is that you co-signed a loan for him for an automobile several years ago. He made payments regularly for a long time. Then he stopped making the payments.
Right.
And you have been forced to make, I believe, the last 8 payments on the car in order for the credit company not to cause a default on the loan. And since he's not making the payments, you want him to give you the car so that you can sell it and perhaps recoup some of the loss since he's not making the payments. Your son says this is not about the car because he has been making regular payments on the car for the last 8 months, even after you kicked him out of your house. He says that it's all about control, that since you can't control his life and you don't like his friends, you want to take his car away because that's the only thing he's got. That's your defense?
That's right.
Okay. How old are you, Joe?
20.
Do you have siblings?
I have a brother.
How old is your brother?
23.
Do you see him regularly?
Yeah.
Yes, try yes.
Yes.
And what about your mom? Does he see your mom?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, so they're close. So there's 2 boys. 2 boys.
Yes.
She's close to the older son. And according to what I read in her complaint and your answer, she was pretty good to you also.
Yes.
You needed a car several years ago. You were 18.
Yeah. Yes.
Where's your father?
My father, he lives somewhere in Cheektowaga in Newark. I don't really talk to him. I didn't really have a relationship with him.
Did you, look at me, Joe, did your mother always work when you were little?
Yes.
And who do you think supported you and your brother?
She did.
Okay. First of all, it goes without saying that you and your mom had an agreement that she would co-sign for this car, but you would make the monthly payments. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
And you did, according to your mom, make them for a very long time. When did he stop making payments on the car?
In September of '03.
And is that when you started to make the payments?
Yes.
Do you have proof that you made those payments?
Oh, yes.
May I see them, please? Now, before September of 2003, who would make the payments?
Joe would. Joe would give me the money or his paycheck, and he used to give me $40 a week to cover the payments. And then all of a sudden, he started saying, well, I want to just give them to you at the end of the month or the beginning of the month when it was due. Then it came to the point where he changed. He was going to school. That's why I co-signed for the loan. He was working 2 jobs. I have a big lot. He was mowing all the lawn. He was taking care of his chores, his room, and everything. Then he gets transferred over to a different pizza place, then meets up with some kids, and all of a sudden, He stayed out until 5 o'clock in the morning. He didn't tell me. He told me he doesn't have to tell me where he was. He quit school, stopped going little by little till he quit school.
What school was he going to?
He was going for electronics. I told him that if he went for electronics, that I would help him start a business in it. And he was doing everything right. All of a sudden, he was trashing his room. There was food, there was clothes, there was breaking the ceiling, the wall, you know. And I went downstairs. I opened up a book that was down there. I found some marijuana in there. He told me that it was his friends. He was just holding it for them. I used to give picnic parties, and he used to be the kind of kid, he was such a good kid that he used to hold a beer in front of him while everyone else was drinking, and by the end of the party, I would dump it out because he never really liked it.
Okay. September of 2003, is that when he stopped making all the payments?
Yes, he didn't give me a payment at all that month. And that is when I kicked him out. The reason I kicked him out is for tough love.
Joe? Look at me, Joe.
Okay.
So your mom, who took care of you and your brother, because I gather your father wasn't much of a participant, who wanted to help you secure your future, are you telling me that your mother is lying to me in court when she says that you stopped making payments to her on the car?
Yes.
Tell me about it.
Well, she was right. I was giving her the payments, the $4 a week for the longest time, and once I didn't really quit school. I got thrown out of school. I missed too many days.
Why
like
did you
10
miss
days in 1 year.
Why did you miss so many days, Joe? Look at me. Don't look down.
I was working 2 jobs. It was just hard to get there sometimes.
So tell me about these new friends that you had that your mom didn't approve of.
I don't even know what that's really about, new friends.
Tell me about the marijuana she found in the house.
That wasn't mine.
Whose was it? Look at me. Don't look down. Look at me. Whose was it?
It was a friend of mine's.
What were you doing with it?
He asked me to hold it so his mom wouldn't find it, and then she found it.
Well, that's not a friend. A friend doesn't ask you to do something wrong so that his mom wouldn't find it and place you in a situation where your mother found it. That's not a friend. And that's not somebody who's very smart that'll do that. Joe.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Her son, Joe Hapka, needs to get his life together. She is suing for the return of a car and car payments.
Did you give her money last week?
No.
Did you give her money 4 weeks ago?
No.
So it's been some time since you gave her money. If you had to rent a car, you'd pay for it, right?
Well, I didn't trust her to give her the money because she's saying that, because I don't have my own book to send the payments in. She had her own book from the bank that she kept. That's why I gave her the money. She mailed in the payments. I kept doing that until I got a subpoena that I haven't been paying for.
So what you're telling me is you are prepared right now, if she gave you the book, listen to me, if she gave you the book, you're prepared to resume payments on the car. Is that right?
Yeah.
Can I see the book, please?
Sure.
Good.
Your Honor, he hasn't paid insurance since at least March. I got a paper stating that because he didn't pay insurance, his license is suspended. He's still driving. And this has been since March at least. He was in a car accident in March.
Is that right, Joe?
And they're suing him.
Since I got a letter saying that my license was suspended, that I haven't drove it since then. It's been parked at my brother's house.
Well, so you're telling me that you are going to make these payments even though you can't drive the car?
Well, it's just until I didn't have money for insurance at the time, so that was,
Just
I had
a
insurance
second.
lapse.
Just a second. Why didn't you have money for insurance?
I just wasn't making enough.
Don't you think you ought to get rid of this car?
No. I need the car. I really don't have anything. She kicked me out. I'm living basically on the street in my car, and she wants to take my car.
Well, you didn't sleep in your car 2 nights ago. So.
No, I didn't, but there's been times.
Sure, so listen, if you had behaved yourself, she wouldn't have kicked you out?
I'm 20 years old. I still have to live perfectly to her rules. No, I can't do anything.
Joe,
I can't see anybody.
Joe, listen to me. You do not, sir. You don't have to listen to your mother. You don't have to abide by her rules. Only if you live in her house. If you live in her house, she owns the air you breathe. And she doesn't have to wait until you decide to come home because she's going to be up at night wondering whether you're home safely or not. So you can't meander in at 5 o'clock in the morning. And you can't have friends over that she doesn't like. And you can't, listen to me,
right.
And you don't have a room. You don't have a room. She allows you to live in a room in her house. Evidently, whatever you were contributing to the household was not sufficient to balance the aggravation that your new lifestyle was posing for your mother. Shh. Step up. Tell me your name.
Richard Collado.
How do you know him?
Basically, I didn't graduate with his brother. I didn't graduate, but I went to school with his brother, and his brother now lives with me.
You, I assume, believe that you have something to contribute to this case.
Yeah. I've seen him pay her twice. Once in
when?
Once in September.
And once when?
And then a little in January.
Tell me about the time that you saw him give his mother money in January 2004.
Basically, she came over, I think, to see his brother, Frank, who was living with me. And I was sleeping on the couch. It was a Saturday or Sunday. I remember being woken up by her complaining that he was about, I think, $50, $60 short. Something that I considered significant to disturb my sleep over, but I remember being woken up because he was short on a car payment. So he didn't have the total payment, but he did pay her something.
You remember that discussion?
Your Honor, I have never seen this kid before in my life. I don't know who he is. I don't know if he is a friend of my other sons. I have never met him.
You may not have been sleeping on the couch. Do you remember going over to your son sometime in January of 2004 and having a discussion about a short car payment?
No. What I have done is I have complained on the phone at his job, and I have pleaded with his brother to try and get him to pay me something. I have been, my stomach has been in a knot. I've been crying, upset. I mean, and I haven't said you're $50 short. He's short the whole entire payment.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And later today,
I was going to let him stay, but I just could not deal with that because, you know, the relationship was over. It was very hard to be there.
So you were happy that he left?
Yes, I was, because I could not take it anymore.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Paula Sharia says her son, Joe Hapka, needs to get his life together. She is suing for the return of a car and car payments.
Joe, according to you, it is your intention to pay this. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, I do not believe that you have made your car payments, and one of the reasons I don't believe that you made your car payments is because you didn't even make your insurance payments on the car. So your mother made $1,200 worth of car payments for you over the last 8 months, and that you owe her. Now, I'm giving you back this book. This book is now your responsibility. I am telling you that it is now on the record that it is your intention to assume full responsibility for making those car payments this day forward. Do we understand each other?
Yes.
But since you have now stated to me that your intention is to make these payments yourself, if your mother has to make these payments for you, she has the right to pursue you civilly, garnish your wages, to recoup whatever money you don't pay on the car. Do I make myself clear?
Yes.
Good. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Perfect. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,200, which represents the amount of payments that she's made on the car. You no longer have any responsibility between the two of you. He's taking over his own car payments. Unfortunately, I cannot direct that he return the car to you, nor can I give you all the money that you owe on the car, because before you co-sign for somebody, you have to think twice about doing that. He has now assumed full responsibility for the car. It's all yours, babe. Take care of it. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
He's driving without a license right now. I'm very concerned for his future. I wanted him to go to school. I wanted him to have a business.
She didn't want me to go anywhere if I left the house late at night. Where are you going? I mean, I'm 20 years old.
Maybe he looks at it as though I was controlling him, but when he gave me the payments I made for his car, at least I knew they were paid because that was our agreement when I co-signed.
I have my own car, I have my own life, my own job. You can't be telling me what to do this late. I mean, it's ridiculous.
I just hope that he wakes up and goes back to the way he used to be. He was very self-controlled. He had a goal, a mindset. He was a good kid.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Armendariz versus Barrett. Step forward, please.
26-year-old retail clerk Lena Armendariz is suing her ex-boyfriend, 24-year-old waiter Ryan Barrett, for an unpaid loan for rent. Ryan is countersuing for his waterbed, rollerblades, and computer.
Miss Armendariz, Mr. Barrett and you lived together for a period of time. He was your boyfriend, and according to your complaint, he ran into some tough financial times, couldn't pay his rent for a few months, and you loaned him the money to pay his share of the rent.
That's right.
Out, and you want that money back. Mr. Barrett says this was not a loan. You were living together. You were a couple living together. You went into some hard times, and you just covered the rent until he moved out and found his own place. He is counterclaiming because he said at some point he decided he wanted to come back and get his property that he had left behind, and you told him that he couldn't until he paid the rent that he owed you. So he is counterclaiming for his waterbed, rollerblades, and a computer.
That's correct.
When did you move in?
We moved in together in March of 2003.
Did you have a lease?
We did have a lease, yes.
How long was the lease?
It wasn't a specific length of time.
Actually, there was, Your Honor, I have this right here, the lease copy. It's for, it has the date right over there, right there on there.
Could you show this to the defendant, please? Ask him if that's his signature.
Yes, it's my signature.
That's a lease.
Yes.
So you had a lease?
We had a lease.
The lease was for 1 year. When did you move out?
I moved out in September. Actually, October, rather.
She's not suing you for the rent during that time. When did you stop paying rent?
I stopped paying in the end of September. I didn't pay for October because I was not living there in October.
He was actually, Your Honor.
Just a second. When did you go back to get your property?
I tried to go back and get my property several times, and every time...
According to your answer, you say you went back in December.
The first time was not in December. The first time was in October, and then again in November.
Okay, in October, did you take any property with you?
I took some property, the stuff that I could fit inside of a small car.
Then you went back again in November.
Right.
What happened in November when you went back?
There was nobody there.
And then, according to you, you went back in December.
Right.
Did you tell her why you were coming back?
Yes.
And what did she say to you?
She said that she would agree to talk to me. And we went to talk. And then she started insulting me. So I left. And when I came back again, I called her again on the way back to the house. And I said, I'm coming for my stuff right now. She said no. I could not have my stuff.
You want to tell me why you moved out?
I moved out because we broke up and she told me to get out.
Is that right?
That is right, but the thing what happened is I was going to let him stay there, you know, until he got himself together and got, you know, money and everything. But I just could not deal with that because, you know, I know it's not very relevant to it, but, you know, the relationship was over. It was very hard to be there.
So you were happy that he left?
Well, yes, I was, because I could not take it anymore. And he wanted to try to work it out, to try to, you know, make payments to me and everything.
I wanted my property back, honestly.
Just a minute. So
he did not say he wanted to...
Just a second. So when you discussed it, you discussed making payments. Is that right, sir?
I told her that I would...
Just answer my question. Stop tap dancing. I said, did you in fact tell her that you would make payments?
Yes.
Great. And what happened?
What happened? I tried to contact her to set up a time to make payments.
To make payments? To make payments. Had you come to an agreement on the amount?
I went ahead and I said yes to her amount.
Which was what amount, sir?
It was $900 at the time.
Why didn't that come to fruition?
That did not come to fruition because she wanted to go to a notary and have it done there. So I said, okay, fine. We'll go to a notary. And when I tried contacting her in order to set up a time and date to go, she said, no, I'm busy. I'm busy. I don't have time for this. And I waited for a response. Never got anything.
Okay. So you did agree to pay $900 in payments. Oh, that was a long time getting there. Now, you have his waterbed?
I have...
Just answer my question. You have his waterbed?
Yes, I still have the waterbed and the computer.
Good. And what about the rollerblades?
I never saw any rollerblades. He never told me he wanted the rollerblades. He just said the waterbed and the computer.
Now, when do you want to go and pick them up?
I'd be willing to go pick them up at any time.
Fine. 5 days from today, you can go in the company of a peace officer. I will prepare an order that you may pick up your waterbed and your computer. That takes care of your counterclaim.
That wasn't the only stuff on his counterclaim.
I didn't ask you a thing. It's the only thing that I see on his counterclaim. His waterbed and his computer. She does not have his rollerblades. And as far as the plaintiff's claim is concerned, the defendant finally acknowledges that he owed the plaintiff $900. He was in agreement to make payments on that amount to her. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $900. Thank you very much.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Yeah, this is case number 25 on the calendar in the matter of Quine versus Pupo. Parties have been sworn in.
Mr. Quine, according to your complaint, you knew the defendant, and at some point you hired her to do some lawn work for your business.
Yes, I did.
And then a dispute arose with regard to her compensation.
Yes.
So there was some bad blood. Subsequently, your home was burglarized.
Yes, it was.
When was your home burglarized?
That was August 9th.
And it is your belief that Miss Pupo was responsible for the burglary, either herself or herself in conjunction with others. And you want her to reimburse you in the amount of $4,000. The stuff that was taken from your home was in excess of that, but you want $4,000 for the value of the property that was taken and not recovered. Now, Ms. Pupo says that you still owe her some money from this weeding job that she did a while back, but she is really suing you for defamation because she says that you went around town telling people that she was a thief. That's your counterclaim.
Yes.
Let's not get into, please, the wages, because I'm really not interested in the wages from a year ago, whether it's $70 or $100 for weeding the property. I'm not interested in that. What I'm interested in is the dispute over the wages. Now, when did that take place, Mr. Quine?
The dispute happened, I hired her to do the weeding on one house, okay? That job paid 6 hours to do the weeding and the shrub trimming.
Okay.
Okay.
So whatever she did work, and you gave her money. How much did you give her?
I gave her $70 after she worked 6 hours.
Just a minute. You gave her $70, and
Yes.
she said she wanted how much?
She wanted $210.
And that was somewhere around the end of July.
Yes.
Is that the last you heard from her?
Absolutely not. She called me 6 to 10 times a day, every single day.
Between the time the job was completed and...
Until the robbery in my house.
And what were these conversations like?
I want money. I want money. You promised me you'd pay me money. And I told her I paid you over and above what I owed you.
Tell me about the break-in to your home.
I was working late, and she had called so many times. All of a sudden, Saturday, the phone calls stopped. I get home, my house is robbed.
What do you find in the house?
Destroyed. All my electronics were gone.
Do you have a police report?
Yes, I do.
May I see it, please? Is this the detective that responded to the scene?
This is Detective Gunderson, who is with the Post Falls.
You didn't listen to my question. I said, is this the detective who responded to the scene on the 9th of August?
Yes.
Okay, you can step up, sir. Detective, with what law enforcement authority are you affiliated, sir?
The Post Falls Police Department.
And how long have you been employed by them?
Approximately 17 years.
Were you assigned this case?
I was. It was a subsequent investigation. Actually, an officer did respond.
But not you?
But not me, no. I handled the follow-up of the case after the fact. I didn't actually respond to the home.
Okay. Did anything in that subsequent investigation lead you to believe that the defendant was somehow involved in this burglary?
Yes, it did. I served a search warrant on the house where she was residing.
And what prompted you to serve a search warrant at that location?
It was another investigation, not this one. And once I got into the house...
It was another investigation for what?
It was involving fraud and drugs.
Now, do you remember on what date you executed this search warrant?
Yes, it was December 22nd.
And who was at that location?
Penny was there.
Penny, the defendant, Ms. Pupo.
Yes, Penny, the defendant.
Did you know
was there.
her before?
I had spoke to her before, yes.
In what context?
I had questioned her about Mr. Quine's property previous to that, asked her if she would talk to us about the burglary of his property.
Okay.
Things like that.
And when you got to the house and she was there,
yes,
had you given her any notice that you were coming?
No.
And you found what?
A DeWalt drill, a Panasonic telephone, Pioneer faceplate to a stereo that were all items that I recalled were reported stolen by Mr. Quine.
And did it subsequently turn out that those items did in fact belong to him?
Yes, he identified them.
Did Ms. Pupo offer any explanation of how those items serendipitously appeared in a home where she was living?
No, she wouldn't talk about it.
Was she arrested?
Yes.
And what happened to that arrest?
She was charged with possessing the stolen property.
Right.
That's still a pending case.
It is?
Yes.
Is that case still pending?
No, they've dropped those charges, Your Honor.
Let me see.
This is all I'm being charged with now.
Well, I am not certain, madam, that the question of possession of stolen property has been resolved. So I am not going to ask you whether or not you stole his property. I have your answer, which is sworn to. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And your answer states, I was living with my parents and ran into an old, friend who asked me to watch his home while he went into prison. December 22nd, this home was raided by a task force and a few of Dan's belongings were recovered. That's what you say. I'm not asking you any questions, Ms. Pupo, because I don't necessarily believe that those issues will or will not be raised in your current indictment of possession of methamphetamines, which, according to this, you are still being charged with as a result of the raid of December 22nd.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And says former employee Penny Pupo burglarized his home. Penny is denying the charge.
How many people reside in your town, sir?
Approximately 20,000.
So the statistical probability of the stolen items, considering the nexus between these two people, the relationship between these two people, the statistical probability of his stolen property ending up in a house where she was acting as a house sitter is really, really big.
Yes.
Right? That's your case.
Yep.
He doesn't have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you stole this property. I find that by the required quantum of proof in a civil proceeding, which is proof by a preponderance of the evidence that either you or your friend who's in jail or somebody else who you importuned stole the property, and I'm awarding him $4,000 on his claim. Now let's get to your counterclaim. Sir, stand up. Tell me your name.
Mike Ollinger.
Take your hands out of your pockets, Mr. Ollinger. Are you prepared to testify that at some time subsequent to December 22nd or sometime after August 9th,
Yeah, it was in the fall.
you heard this gentleman, Mr. Quine, tell people that Miss Pupo was a thief?
Yep. Yes, ma'am.
She's a thief.
Okay.
She is a thief. And the truth is an absolute defense to a charge of defamation. She or others acting on her behalf stole his property. Do you understand that?
Yeah, I understand.
Good. Case counterclaim is dismissed. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $4,000. Thank you very much.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Stole everything out of my house, every electronic I had.
Wouldn't sleep with him. That's what the bottom line is.
There was no sexual nothing with that girl. All right? There was never has been, and she knows it.
Maybe you should come to work with a thong on. I'll pay your wages if you if you put out.
Her lies are just carrying on and on and on.
How many people do you have in your city? If someone was talking about you, I'm sure it would bother you too.
She's a drug addict, and she got caught.
Anybody that knows her knows that that isn't the case. So
I'll tell you what, Post Falls and Coeur d'Alene area is going to know all about her.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Frazier versus Lovelace. Step forward, please.
Computer operator Cheryl Frazier is suing her former friend, daycare owner Felicia Lovelace, for stealing her sewing machine. Felicia says she bought the machine from Cheryl's daughter.
Miss Frazier, it is your claim that 3.5 years ago, the defendant borrowed a sewing machine of yours, an old sewing machine.
Yes, ma'am.
She didn't borrow it from you directly.
No, ma'am, she didn't.
She borrowed it, according to you, from your daughter.
Yes, ma'am.
And she didn't return it.
No, ma'am.
So you just woke up and found out that the sewing machine wasn't there. You want from her $3,000.
Yes, ma'am.
$3,000. The sewing machine was worth a couple of $100 maybe, but you want the rest of the money because you say that because you didn't have the sewing machine, you weren't able to make money. And the other $2,800. What kind of work do you do?
Well, I have a job as a computer operator, but I have a business where I sew lingerie.
Weren't you missing this sewing machine? If that's your business?
Well, I have quite a few, Your Honor.
You have quite a few what?
Sewing machines.
How many do you have?
I have 4 antiques. I have a $4,000 embroidery machine, and then I have some ones that I bought used.
When did you realize that this sewing machine was missing?
It was the latter part of November 2003.
So what did you do?
Well, I looked around the house for it.
Oh, you didn't find it. So
no, I didn't.
Go ahead. Keep going.
And
I'm very unsympathetic with this.
Okay, I understand.
This is a little nonsense as far as I'm concerned.
I understand. I called my daughter up, and I asked her about it.
Step up. Name?
Fallon Frazier.
Ms. Frazier, tell me how the defendant got possession of the sewing machine.
I think I was like a junior in high school, and she called one day and she asked for my mother at home, and I told her no. And then she asked me if I had a sewing machine, and I said yes, and she asked if she could borrow, and I told her yes. She said she was going to return it the next day.
You gave her your sewing machine. It wasn't your mother's sewing machine, it was yours.
Yes.
Okay, good. And what happened the next day?
The next day I called her and she said she would bring it by, and she never came by.
And what happened the day after that?
The day after that I didn't call her.
And the day after that?
I didn't call her until about like some months later.
And when you called her some months later, what did she say to you?
She said she was going to bring it by.
And she didn't bring it back?
No, she didn't.
Yeah. And if you were missing it and she borrowed it and put your hand down. Okay. If you were missing it and she had borrowed it, you would have told your mother, Felicia borrowed my sewing machine, Mom. She hasn't returned it and I need it. But you never told your mother.
No, ma'am.
Not until just listen to me, not until 3 years later. Right?
Right.
Huh?
Right.
Good. Now you want to tell me about the sewing machine?
It wasn't 3 years. It was like 5 years. It was in 1999. I was expecting a child, and I borrowed the sewing machine because we had made a quilt at church. And I called over and I asked Fallon, hey Fallon, how you doing? Is Cheryl there? And she said no. And I said, well, I was trying to borrow a sewing machine. I was going to see if she'll let me use her sewing machine to sew around the quilt. And she said, well, I got one. And she said, well, you can use that one. And I said, well, okay. And then she said, well, it's pretty old. I don't even know if it works anymore. And then I said, well, can I get it and see if it works? And then
listen to me. Don't shake your head because you know nothing about what happened.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Fallon never called me back for that sewing machine. She said she didn't even want it because it wasn't no good.
Listen to me. Your story changed a little bit from the answer that you wrote.
She never offered me money.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Cheryl Frazier says former friend Felicia Lovelace owes for the return of an expensive sewing machine. Felicia claims Cheryl's daughter sold her the machine.
Listen to me. You know nothing about what happened between your daughter and this lady, except what your daughter tells you.
Okay.
Go ahead.
And I said, well, can I get it? And she said, yeah, you can get it. And she said, it's in the basement. I don't feel like going down there and get it. I said, well, Fallon, I'll give you $30 if you go down there and get it. And she said, well, okay. I said, well, we're on our way over there to get it. And then she said, okay. So we got over there. Fallon, we blew the horn, and Fallon was at the door. And she brought the sewing. I went up to the porch, and she came out with the sewing machine. I got the sewing machine. Fallon never called me back for that sewing machine because she said she didn't. She said she didn't even want it because it wasn't no good.
Listen to me. Listen to me. Miss Lovelace, your story changed a little bit from the answer that you wrote. What you just told me was, if you go downstairs to the basement, I'll give you $30. That's what you told me.
Okay.
She never offered me money.
Which means, for her trouble of going downstairs, and you called and asked if you could borrow a sewing machine.
Right.
So you borrowed this sewing machine, and you gave her $30 for the trouble of going down, according to you, of getting the sewing machine. Stop shaking your head.
$30.
of going down and getting the sewing machine. Then you had to return it. Why didn't you return it?
Well, I should have, but I didn't.
Fine. Then you're responsible for it. Because she's underage, she can't give away something that clearly was not necessarily hers, might have been her mother's, I'm not exactly sure. She said it was hers. I have an old one, according to you, but clearly you borrowed it, you kept it for a long period of time. You don't still have it, according to you.
No.
Oh. And clearly this was an old sewing machine that Miss Frazier never even missed in, you say, since 1999. Maybe 1999, maybe 2000. I don't know what it is. I mean, the sewing machine isn't worth much. Wasn't worth much when you got it in 1999. Certainly wasn't worth much in 2003 by the time you woke up and found out that it wasn't there. How much do you think, Miss Frazier, this was worth when it was borrowed?
I had just bought the sewing machine.
I don't believe that. No. Listen
I
to me.
It used. Okay. I bought it used, and
Miss Frazier, listen to me.
Okay.
I don't believe that your daughter gave away a machine that you had just purchased, whether you just purchased it new or used. I don't believe that you had just purchased it. When did you buy it, and how much did you pay?
I bought it in August of 1999. I paid $279. You would have to understand my daughter, Your Honor. My daughter, anything, we have an issue of mine versus hers. I had a brand new sewing machine that I had purchased, and I went and bought that used to keep her from using my brand new sewing machine. Okay, she still was using my sewing machine.
You said that you had loads of sewing machines.
I do, but she only wants to use whatever I use to sew with, Your Honor.
Not a major deal. You lived without the sewing machine for either 3.5 years or 5 years. Miss Lovelace absolutely should have returned the sewing machine. It was a loan. The fact that she forgot about it, put it in her basement, there was a flood, she got rid of it, that doesn't excuse the fact that she borrowed it and she should have returned it. You are not entitled to $2,800 for the lost value of lost earnings that you could have made from this sewing machine were it available for use, because that is nonsense. You're entitled to but probably is fair, reasonable value of what a sewing machine might cost. And I have no idea what a used sewing machine costs. I'll take a look at the bill. Not that I necessarily believe that that's the sewing machine, but I just want to take a look at it. Now, Miss Lovelace, did you use the sewing machine to complete your project?
No, because it didn't work when I got it. And then when Cheryl called me about the sewing machine, I told her it didn't work. And she said, well, wasn't nothing wrong with it, but the tension had to be straightened out. Oh. That's what she said.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $200. That's all.
Parties are, you may step out. Yeah, this case number 121 on the calendar in the matter of Vaughn versus Peck. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated, folks.
Mr. Vaughn, let me try to understand what your lawsuit is about. According to what I've read, you rescued this dog, I assume, from a shelter.
Yes, ma'am, from a city shelter.
And then you turned the dog over to the defendant's shelter for the purposes of being, I assume, adopted.
Yes, Your Honor.
And that was months ago. And now you want the dog back. Miss Peck says she's not going to give you the dog back because she's afraid that what you really want to do is to have the dog euthanized, because you've done that before with other animals. And she said the whole problem is that you were interested in her socially, and that since she rebuffed your advances socially, you want to get even by taking the dog back. Something like that. Is that right? Okay. I understand, Mr. Vaughn, according to you, that you've donated a substantial amount of money to Miss Peck's shelter. Is that true?
Yes, Your Honor, I did.
How much money have you donated to Miss Peck's shelter?
Roughly $60,000 to $80,000.
You have proof of that, sir?
Yes, I do, Your
I'd
Honor.
like to see it.
Your Honor, may I say something?
I just want to see his proof that he's donated that kind of money to your shelter. Okay. How did you become interested in this rescue, in this Chihuahua rescue, Mr. Vaughn?
Well, about a little over 8 years ago, my roommate and I adopted Chihuahuas from Miss Peck here. We adopted the ones that she says could not be adopted out because they were aggressive, they were biters, and we adopted them.
How many did you adopt?
Probably around 4, maybe 5 at the most.
Did you have any of them euthanized?
Yes, Your Honor. After my roommate passed away, it was in her will that all of her animals be put to sleep, cremated, and buried with her. I took it upon myself. She loved her animals, and she did not want them to be turned back over to Miss Peck.
Why didn't you take care of them?
Well, 17 Chihuahuas is a lot of Chihuahuas.
So you euthanized 17
No,
Chihuahuas?
I had 9 Chihuahuas, the ones that were under medication and have had a beautiful, healthy, happy life, and were getting sickly. And the older ones, I had them put to sleep.
How many?
9 of them. They was cremated, and they was buried with Miss Peg in a pet cemetery.
She was buried in a pet cemetery?
Yes. That was her wish and her will.
Why do you want this dog back?
I want this dog back to where I can take care of it and give it a proper home at my house.
Why did you give it away in the first place?
Well, I adopted the dog from a city animal shelter because it had mange problems. I wanted it to have a chance to get a good home out in the public and not be euthanized at the shelter because of its condition.
Okay.
I then took it straight to a vet, which I have papers of ownership and a vet
No, I
records.
understand. Sir, you turned the dog over to the defendant. Why do you want the dog back now?
Because the dog was not adopted out as it was planned, and the dog did not receive proper medication as it should have, and was quarantined in a little small cages, roughly 2 foot by 2 foot. And it's not right for an animal to be confined like that on top of another cage with animals under it.
I'll hear you. When did he turn the dog over to you?
In December.
Okay, is there any reason why this puppy has not been adopted?
He and the witness who's with him now actually adopted the dog a long time ago from a city shelter, and they broke up. And when they broke up, George gave us the dog to care for. I should probably call the veterinarian who can explain the condition of this dog.
Is there a veterinarian here?
Yes, Dr. Hahn. Could you explain?
Could you step up, please? What kind of skin condition does this puppy have?
He's got a condition called demodectic mange, which is a little like mite that lives in the hair follicles, and he's got Seborrhea oleosa, which is like a...
And there's nothing you can do for him to get him better?
You can control it, but you can't cure it. Well, the mites you can cure in some cases. With him, he's been a real problem because he has a real bad case of it, and it may never be able to be cleared up. But the Seborrhea will always be with him, and it's just a control measures that you have to do to make him feel better, like bathing him regularly. And
do they do that at the shelter?
Kimi does it, yes, Your Honor.
Is it a male or female?
Male.
Does he ever get to go home with somebody, or is he in a cage all the time?
We have a sanctuary as well as a rescue organization. Some dogs I evaluate and I give them a lot of time. If I don't feel they're adoptable, if I don't feel there's going to be someone that I can trust to treat this dog the rest of his life, he will stay in a sanctuary where he will be loved. He will have a lot of volunteers. We're open to the public. This dog I would have to find a very special person for if we were to place him. I'd have to do home checks. I'd have to do surprise home checks the rest of his life.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Your Honor, when I adopted the dog from the shelter, I took it straight to my vet. He treated the dog, and then the dog, after it was treated, came back to Miss Anderson's house, my witness, and she took care of the dog until it was well enough to be neutered.
So?
And then the dog was neutered in November the 7th.
So?
And then it was taken to Miss Peck's place.
The question is why?
Why?
Yeah.
The dog was turned
I mean, did
over
the two of you, were you living with this lady?
No, ma'am, I'm not.
Yeah.
She's a good friend. She's an animal groomer. She does medicate and take care of animals.
Okay, but she didn't want the dog.
Can I speak?
What?
When I'm the one that found the dog at the animal shelter.
So?
I told him, he went in and rescued him.
Good.
He took him to me. We took him to the vet. I'm the one that initiated his care. And by the way, these dogs, demodectic mange is not end stage, and it is treatable, and it is curable.
Okay, good.
Because I have many.
My question to you is, you did not want the dog.
We bailed it out to put it up for adoption.
Okay. Well,
At
that's
the
what was
time,
done.
I had a venue where I adopted him, where I tried to adopt him. We lost that venue. He took him to her, hoping he would get adopted out.
Oh,
that hasn't happened.
Oh, listen to me. All I am saying to you is you did not want this dog.
If we hadn't have been able to find a suitable home, either one of us would be willing to keep him.
Sit down. You can have a seat, Dr. On. Thank you. This is my problem. It is clear from what you tell me that you were not interested in keeping this dog for yourself, but that you wanted the dog cared for initially by the defendant and adopted by someone else and cared for by someone else. Ordinarily, if you said to me, well, they haven't been able to adopt this dog out because of the condition, I want the dog back now, I might say, well, that sounds like a better plan than keeping the dog for the next 10 years in a situation where occasionally it'll have a play date, but for a good part of the time it's kept in a locked situation. But I think it's nutty to have euthanized 9 dogs to be cremated and buried because some old lady says that that's her last wish. And you comply with that wish and kill 9 and have 9 dogs that weren't all ready to go at the same time, buried with this lady's ashes in a dog cemetery. That, Mr. Vaughn, is a little kooky to me, sir. And I, Mr. Vaughn, quite frankly, would not sleep well if I turned this dog over to you. So I'm dismissing your lawsuit. Do you understand? You're not getting the dog back and you're not getting $1,500 back because anybody that can kill 9 dogs is not playing with a full deck. Goodbye. Thank you.
Williams, step forward, please.
25-year-old law student Michael Williams is suing his ex-girlfriend, homemaker Elaine Williams, for money owed due to breach of contract. Michael says Elaine promised not to throw him out of the house.
Mr. Williams, you're not related to the defendant, are you?
No, ma'am.
According to what I read, she was a family friend. You rented a room from her. You claim a breach of contract for some nonsense, and then a loan to her in a small amount, $150 or $250. Miss Williams says she never had a contract with you for anything, and she never borrowed any money from you. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
How long have you known Miss Williams?
June of last year.
What happened last June, Mr. Williams?
I knew she was renting a room, so I went to her house, her apartment in June. We talked. She said she would rent the room out to me. While I was there, I was appreciative that I had the room because I am a student trying to go to school and she didn't charge too much for rent. Unfortunately, her feelings for me started to grow, and in the process of her feelings getting in the way, she started getting violent. Her violence was taking over. I couldn't handle the violence anymore, so at the end of that year, which was in December, I left.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Listen to me,
yes, no,
smart
no
mouth.
No, ma'am, I'm not trying to disrespect her. I'm not trying to have a smart mouth, and that's...
Well, then I want you to be quiet,
yes,
because when I'm speaking, I'm the only person who speaks.
Yes, ma'am.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Michael Williams says he had a deal with former live-in girlfriend Elaine Williams. Michael says Elaine agreed to pay him if she wanted him to move out.
Go ahead.
I left, and then about 2 weeks after I left, she called me talking about she missed my company. She wanted me to come back. She wouldn't care who I have over for company, male, female, whatever. She didn't mind. She would reduce my rent, and she would give me about 2 or 3 months free. When I moved back, I made sure everything was clear. I let her know I was going to tape record her because she lies a lot. I put the tape recorder on the table. I said, Mrs. Williams, you are aware that we are recording. Oh, yes, okay, okay. She agreed to everything.
And that's what's on that tape recording?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'd like to hear that.
Now, Elaine.
Don't bye now.
Babe, what's today's date?
Sunday, the 18th.
Are you aware that we are recording right now?
Yes.
Okay. And where we at? We're in the kitchen, right? And the tape recorder's on. Now, are you sure you want me back here? I know I'm here now. My stuff is here. But if you don't want me here, I do not mind packing my stuff and leaving. I will still be your friend. I'm not going to say, well, since you don't want me here, I'm going to press charges. No, I'm not going to press charges because of that. I agreed to drop the charges on Monday. I won't press the charges Monday.
I know you're going to do that.
Okay, well, I'm right here on tape. It is recording right now. The question I'm asking you is, are you sure you you want me to be here, living here at this house with you for at least another 6 months.
Yes, I told you yes, before. So you make me repeat myself.
Yes, before.
Why you make me repeat myself?
I'm making sure you remember what you told me.
You want to pump me?
No, I'm making sure you remember what you told me, and I'm making sure you haven't changed your mind. I would agree to pay you $200 a month for rent, and I will take my 2 months rent for free.
That ain't no money. Now you're trying to...
No, ma'am, I'm not. Let it be known for the record, I'm not trying to cheat Elaine.
Who are you going to pay that tape to?
It depends on who's necessary to. Whoever say I'm lying. Okay, I agree not to take the 3 months free. I'll take the 2 months.
Sorry for took so long to get to that part, ma'am. But it is on the tape.
I don't care whether it's on the
yes,
tape
ma'am. I'm just
or
letting you
not.
know that it is on tape, and she did say it.
I don't care whether it's... Listen to me
Yes,
very
ma'am.
carefully, Mr. Williams.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't care if it's on the tape or
Yes,
not.
ma'am.
Miss Williams.
Yes, ma'am.
How old are you?
47. My birthday was June the 3rd.
Okay. And how do you support yourself?
Well, right now, I do home care for some people that I know, and I go to Irvin Lee. I'm in computers, mathematics, and English at Irvin Lee.
So they're trying to teach you a trade?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you get any kind of disability, any kind of social security?
No, well, just my baby gets some money, and my baby father's sending some money from Cleveland, Ohio.
And when was the last time you were employed on a full-time basis?
Oh, I worked for Afro bail bondsman, but I was living by Southwest Police Department. I was working for him. Everything was going all right till he wanted to turn the job into loving. So okay, I know you want to hear that, so I left.
Mr. Williams?
Yes.
You said that you were going to school?
Yes.
What kind of school do you go to?
I go to El Camino Community College.
And what do you want to be when you grow up?
A lawyer.
And you think that this created a contract?
Yes, ma'am.
It didn't.
In my eyes, it's documented evidence
I
that we
don't
agreed
care
upon.
what it is
Okay.
in your eyes. Get glasses.
Yes, ma'am.
Let me explain to you very briefly, sir, what a contract is. Either a contract that is written or a contract that is oral. The first thing that you have to have in a contract is a meeting of the minds. That's the first thing. And if you ever get to law school, your contract professor is going to tell you that you cannot have a valid, binding contract unless two people have a meeting of the minds. And for a variety of sundry reasons, Mr. Williams, you and this lady did not have a meeting of your respective minds.
Oh, yes, ma'am, yes, we did. I'm sorry I didn't get to that point, but yes, we did.
No.
Yes, ma'am, we did.
No, you didn't, sir, because
She
I'm
wanted me
not
back
quite
so
sure that each of you had the equipment. I heard nothing on this tape recording that suggests to me that there was ever a meeting of the minds, which is a prerequisite to having a contract.
You didn't get that
because
far.
That's why I heard enough.
No, ma'am, you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. You're a hustler.
No, ma'am.
You're a hustler.
Okay.
You're a hustler, and you're taking advantage of her. And if you didn't want, put your hand down. And if you didn't want to move back in with her, then you don't move back in with her. And if you felt as if she was taking advantage of you, then go find someplace else to live. Now, you had a complaint against her, and you said that you were going to notify the district attorney that you weren't going to proceed so she wouldn't have to go to jail. What kind of a complaint did you have against her, sir?
That might have been either the criminal threats or the assault and battery.
And you were willing to drop those charges against her if she told you could come back and give you a few months free rent and reduce your rent to $200. Is
No,
that
ma'am, you got
that's
it
what
wrong.
you told her on
No,
the
ma'am,
machine?
that's not how it was.
Oh, yes, that's exactly
No,
what
ma'am,
you
that's
told
not
her.
how
That
it
was
was.
your voice.
No, it wasn't like that.
That was your voice.
Yes, I
because
said
somebody
that, but you
listened to
get the point
me.
mixed up. Yes, ma'am, no
Smart
disrespect.
mouth.
No, ma'am, I'm not trying to disrespect you. I'm not trying to have a smart mouth in that sense.
Well, then I want you to be quiet.
Yes,
because
ma'am.
when I'm speaking, I'm the only person who speaks.
Yes, ma'am.
If somebody complains to the police and to the district attorney that they are in fear of their safety because someone has assaulted them, threatened them, battered them, they don't go back to that house in an attempt to negotiate a lower rent. Do you understand, sir? That doesn't make any sense.
Ma'am, she called me offering
I
me
don't
those
care if
things.
she called you. What difference does it make if she called you? You say, don't call me, I'm afraid of you.
Michael,
and if
I
you
need
call
your
me
help.
again, I'm speaking.
Yes, ma'am.
And if you call me again, I'm going to call the district attorney because I'm the police because I'm afraid of you. You assaulted me. You don't say, well, I'll come back, and I'm not afraid of you if you agree to give me a reduction in rent and a couple of months free. Do you understand, Mr. Williams?
Yes, ma'am, I understand.
Goodbye. Go get a life. That's all. Case dismissed.
Parties are excused. You may step out. On the calendar in the matter of Pels, Cadell versus Kuhn. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
What's your first name?
Jamie.
And yours?
Margaret.
You're her mother.
Yes.
You're Miss Peltz?
Yes, I am.
Miss Peltz, you gave your daughter $500 in cash because there was an outstanding warrant for her, she thought, for back child support.
Correct.
She has children who are in the custody of who?
The biological father.
She can speak.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, the biological father.
And how many children do you have?
5.
How old are you?
28.
Are all 5 children with the same father?
No, Your Honor.
Where are the 5 children?
When I got pregnant at 13, and I gave birth at 14, and I had 2 children by the age of 16.
Where are those 2 children?
One is with the adoptive father. My other child was murdered when adopted out.
At what age? 2? Okay. How many children are with their father?
3.
And you have a current child support order, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. You fell behind in your child support?
Yes.
Your mother gave you $500 so you could turn yourself in, according to you, and get the warrant lifted. According to your complaint, Mr. Kuhn got possession of this money order and didn't give it back to you. So you want that $500, and you also claim he has your property, clothes, pictures, etc., that he refused to return to you when he kicked you out of the house. You want a total of $1,200 from the defendant. Mr. Kuhn says never took your $500. You have your $500. That you have a drug problem, that's probably what you used it for. And as far as your property is concerned, he boxed it all up, put it on the porch. He has no idea what happened to it.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Kuhn, how old are you, sir?
48, I'm sorry.
So you're 20 years older than Jamie, is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
The 2 of you lived together for a period of time? Uncross your hands, sir.
On and off for 3 years.
Do you work?
Yes, ma'am.
Does she work?
No, ma'am.
Did she work during the 3 years you were together?
Not one day.
So you were taking care of her and supporting her?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Any of her children lived with you at the time?
No, we fought tooth and nail to try to get some of these children back for her, but that was to no avail.
Oh. Tell me, Jamie, about this $500 money order.
My mother gave me $500.
Why?
And I turned it into...
Why?
Oh, I'm sorry. For my child support, there was a bench warrant that was issued, so I had, instead of paying $160, I had to pay $500 to get it dropped.
Why didn't you pay the child support?
I wasn't working at the time.
Why not?
I've had medical problems that have kept me from working.
What
and
kind of
also,
medical problems?
I had severe hemorrhaging that went on for months. Not only that, Mr. Kuhn was also very controlling in our relationship.
None of that's true, Your Honor.
Okay. So let's get back to the $500. Your mother gave you $500 in cash, right? Go ahead.
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead. I'm listening.
Actually, I had the $500 turned into a money order, which I have the receipt.
Good. I'll take a look at that. So she gave you the $500 in cash. You got a money order. Who told you to get the money order?
I wanted to because I wanted to make sure it went to the child support. I didn't trust Mr. Kuhn because of his drug problem.
Just a second. No, Mr. Kuhn.
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
Okay. And go ahead.
We did go to turn myself in, and they said that they couldn't find any warrants on me, that I would have to go over to city. It wasn't a matter that I could take care of at that point. It was a Friday, so I wanted to contact my attorney the following Monday to find out what I needed to do to resolve the matter. I ended up going out of town with Mr. Kuhn to Fredonia. He had some work out there to do, and the $500 money order went with us both.
Yes.
Upon coming home from Fredonia...
Which was when?
The Friday following.
So you were there for a week?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Go ahead.
When we had returned home, actually it was Mother's Day. I had run some errands and came home with dinner, and since I wouldn't make his dinner plate, he proceeded to tear up the house and throw objects at me.
Not true, Your Honor.
I'm going to get to you, sir. Uncross your hands. Go ahead.
Upon that, I called my mother to come pick me up because I was afraid for my safety. I left all my belongings. I left with the clothes on my back and no shoes or nothing.
Okay. And?
From there, we contacted an officer the next day to follow me over so I can try to get my things. Mr. Kuhn had changed the locks. My house key no longer worked. We do know he was home. He would not answer the door.
I'm still not hearing about the $500 money order.
Mr. Kuhn was in possession of it. He told me he would not let me have it, that he didn't trust me, that he would return it to my mother.
When did he tell that to you?
We had a huge fight in Fredonia, and I asked for it back.
What was the fight about in Fredonia?
I do not recall what the fight was about.
Do you recall?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Want to tell me about it?
The fight in Fredonia was about the fact that she wanted to cash the money order and spend it to buy pills from a friend.
What kind of pills?
Lortabs in specific.
What are they for?
They are painkiller. They're Lortabs, Oxycontins. This has been a prevalent problem throughout the entire relationship.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Jamie Cadell says ex-boyfriend John Kuhn stole her money order and won't return her belongings. John says Jamie used the money order to buy drugs.
Okay. You have a drug problem, Jamie?
In the past, I did, yes, Your Honor.
Well, in the past, I mean, you're talking about yesterday, a month ago, 6 months ago?
I've been clean for a month and a half, Your Honor.
Prior to the month and a half, you've had a drug problem. What kind of drugs?
Lortabs and meth, which John actually introduced me into.
But you've been with him for 3 years, according to him. Is that right, off and on?
About that, yes.
But you lost your children way before that. You lost your children as a result.
When I was very young.
You weren't very young. You were 25. According to you, you're 28 years old.
No.
Listen to me carefully. I'm talking about the 3 children that are with their biological father at this point.
Okay.
You visit with them? Is not an answer. Do you visit with them? The answer is either yes or no.
Yes.
When?
Right now, it's been suspended.
Okay. Has it been suspended because of your drug use?
Yes.
Yes, Your Honor.
I mean, I was a family court judge, madam. They don't preclude a parent, especially a mother in family court, from seeing her children unless there's a serious problem. So in Fredonia, when you were there with Mr. Kuhn, you had a fight. You said you don't remember what it was about. Mr. Kuhn says that you wanted to buy pills from a friend of his. So if you don't remember what the fight was about, I have to assume that he's telling me the truth.
Your Honor, he needed $50 because he had not gotten paid on his jobs. I told him he could use $50 out of the money order for food for us. He promised to pay me that back when he got paid on this job. It was not for drugs.
Ms. Kuhn, you were not working over the 3-year period, so I assume you were being supported, the two of you, since you were living together somehow. Were you being supported because Mr. Kuhn was working?
Working, but he was also very controlling.
I don't care about controlling. He was working.
Off and on, Your Honor.
And that's how you supported yourself?
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh.
And my mother.
What happened to the $500, sir?
I honestly don't know. The last time I saw the money order was on a Thursday evening in my wallet, and by Friday it was gone.
Where were you with it? Were you in Fredonia at the time?
We were in Fredonia at that time.
Now, you drove back when, sir? On Sunday?
Late Friday evening.
You drove back together?
Yes.
Did you ask her about it?
Yes, I did.
What'd she say?
It was none of my business. It was her money. She could do with it what she wanted to. It's what she told me.
Happened on Sunday when you got home?
Saturday, she slept all day, which was something that I was accustomed to. Sunday, about 5 o'clock, she woke up. We had purchased Mother's Day cards for our respective parents, and my mother's in a home. She's disabled. And I told her, my mother's not going anywhere. Get off your butt. Go see your mother. Give her your card. You know, take care of some things. I gave her $25 and told her to bring home some supper, since I obviously wasn't going to get any other way. 4 hours later, she showed up and she was high. She had cold fried chicken, 7 pieces of cold fried chicken, and said that they had cheated her out of the mashed potatoes, corn, or whatever that was supposed to go with it. I had been working at the house. I live on 3 acres, and I had grass to cut. And I was hot and I was tired, and she told me to fix my own damn plate, threw the chicken on the table, at which time I told her she needed to call her mother because I wasn't going to put up with it any longer. As far as her being in fear of her life, I don't know what that's about. She called her mother, and I told her mother over the phone she needed to come get her daughter, that I was through playing this game.
Did she come and get her?
Yes, she did.
Okay.
She came straight away.
Ms. Peltz, either on Sunday or Monday, did you go to Mr. Kuhn's house to pick up your daughter?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And at what time? Don't speak.
It was roughly probably around 5:36 in the evening.
And when you got there, was your daughter inside the house or outside of the house?
She was outside the house.
Where was she outside of the house?
Across the street at a convenience store.
And she got into the car and you left?
Correct.
When was the next time you went back to or telephoned Mr. Kuhn?
The day after we wanted to go get Jamie, my daughter's belongings. When I picked her up, all she had was the clothes on and no shoes. She wanted her court papers and her clothing and her personal belongings, which are pictures of my grandchildren.
Okay, she wanted her clothing and some photographs.
Yes.
And what happened when you got there?
He wouldn't answer the door.
Okay. Do you have her clothing, sir?
No, ma'am, I do not.
What did you do with it?
They called me repeatedly on Monday, made threats, so on and so forth. On Tuesday the 11th, I called them and I told them about 7:30 at night that I was leaving and I would not be home for an entire 24-hour period, that their clothes
Who
were
did you
setting.
speak to?
I spoke twice to their answering machine because they know my phone number and they never answer the phone when I call. That's just their way they do
you
things.
put her clothes outside.
2 bags of clothes, 3 boxes of court papers that were generated from my computer at my expense anyway, but they were her court papers. Nevertheless, she got them. There was a few pictures, an 8x10 and a little bitty photo album about this big of snapshots. This person here happened to be there when I set the clothes out and made the first phone call.
Oh, really? Step up. Tell me your name.
Linda Gordon.
What were you doing at Mr. Kuhn's home?
I'd gotten off work at 6 o'clock that evening. My boss had asked me to please go talk to him about getting him to come down and do some work on our beach bathrooms.
How do you know him?
I used to be an employee of his years ago, and we then became friends.
Anything more than friends?
No, never.
Tell me about what you saw and heard.
When I'd gotten out there, I went out there, was going to speak with Jamie and John, because I had been visiting with them anyway, and see their new house. I hadn't been out there yet. And when I got there...
So you knew Miss Cadell as well?
Yes, ma'am. When I got there, John was in the middle of, packing some things up, and I had asked what was going on. He said she was leaving, and he would be more than happy to come in and give that bid, but he had to get this done first. I actually helped him pack.